so proudly we hail at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. No, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
After a couple days off, the Sasquatch are back at home, and they'll be taking on a familiar opponent in Bison baseball. This is a team they beat pretty well over the first 3 games of the series, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. The Sasquatch came out with their offense in full effect. They outscored the Bison 62-7 over those first 3 games. They out-hit them 52-16, and now the Sasquatch will try to continue that success here into a 2-game weekend set. They're playing this team today on Saturday and then also again tomorrow on Sunday, and we'll see the Bison baseball back here in Spearfish. And so take a look here at the starting lineup for Bison baseball here today and how they will line up. It'll be Alex Everson, the center fielder, who will lead things off. Nick Golden is the DH. He's also pitching today. He's the starter, and he's batting second. Mason Daniels in right field. He bats third. Aiden Hall is the shortstop, and he cleans up. Bryce Gamble is doing the catching. He bats fifth. David Henry's in left field and bats sixth. Ethan Kang is over at third base, and he bats seventh. Jackson Takahashi is the first baseman. He bats eighth. And then Joel Beaver rounds out the lineup, and he is batting ninth. Bison baseball are a team that struggled offensively. They were able to put up some runs in the series against the Oahe Zap, but they struggled mightily here when they were at Black Hills Energy Stadium. So we'll see how they fare here today, and they'll be going off a new pitcher on the mound, or someone at least who has not started a game yet for the Sasquatch, and it is Nolan Walfeltz who will be on the mound for Spearfish here today out of Belfouche. He's a local guy. He's also the brother of one of our interns, Sean Walfelt, and there you see the numbers on screen. He's pitched 4 innings so far, a 4.50 ERA, 1.25 whip. He's allowed 2 runs, both of them earned, a pair of strikeouts and a walk over his first 4 innings. Last game between these two teams was a bullpen game for the Sasquatch. They started Kyle Finn. He started and DH'd, and then we're seeing now Nick Golden doing the same thing for Bison. So today won't be the same level of bullpen game, as they're hoping to get some length out of Nolan Walfelt and treat him more like a starter. As we've got a standoff here between these two teams, Seth Nelson will finally, well, thought for a second that he was going to break. He decided not to. Now the home plate umpire is motioning to Bison baseball. They want to get this game started, but neither team is willing to move right now. We'll see which one gives up first. It is Zachary Nelson, the home plate umpire, who is trying to break this one up. Chris Leathers is the umpire in the field here today. Seth Nelson is refusing to break from the first base line right now, despite instruction being given by the home plate umpire, Zachary Nelson. So while they sort this one out, Sasquatch are hoping to grab another win here today. They enter 23-13, while Bison baseball is 0-8. Finally, Seth Nelson will depart, and the standoff is won by Bison baseball. Sasquatch are hoping that's the only thing won by Bison Baseball today. If it is, they'll take that. So to lead things off, Alex Everson will get this game going, facing Nolan Walfeltz on the mound. Walfeltz is ready. Everson digs in from the right side of the box, and the first pitch is in there for a strike. First pitch at 6:11 p.m. local time, and it is a hot one here in Spearfish, 95 degrees at first pitch. The 0-1 is up and away. A ball and a strike on Everson. Walfeltz is mostly a three-pitch pitcher. Fastball, changeup, curveball. Fastball sits low 80s. Curveball and the changeup low 70s. This fastball is fouled away by Everson. Everson's played in 7 games so far. This is the Bison's 8th. He is 4 for 21 over those first 7. That's a 191 batting average. He has scored 5 runs, and he's also walked 3 times. This is fouled away. So the last time these two teams met was a massive bullpen game for the Sasquatch. Kyle Finn started. Nathan Harb got the win, going 3 innings in relief. Jackson Peters, Julio Romero, Lane Syme, Javier Marcial, and Elijah Bobo all pitched in that ball game. Home plate umpire Zachary Nelson is telling Bison Baseball to get back into their dugout. They had too many players sitting on the outside step. Ahead of this 1-2 from Walfeltz. Fouled straight back. It's also luau night here at the ballpark. A lot of fans in Hawaiian attire with luau's on. They were given to the first 200, I think, fans who showed up here at the ballpark. And unfortunately, our setup here at the ballpark, because it is hot, we are experiencing some technical difficulties. We're trying to work through them as Everson dodges out of the way of that pitch. So hopefully we can get those all ironed out. We had to make a last-minute switch behind the scenes to broadcast this game, controlling it from a computer to an iPad. But so far, so good. See how it fares the rest of the way. We can only hope that technology is on our side. With the heat out in the stadium, Everson's worked a full count. Walfeltz 3-2, and the fastball is outside. Everson draws a walk to begin the ballgame. Let's take a look at the Sasquatch defense. In the outfield, Micah Wallet is in left field. Ben Green in center. Javier Marcial's in right. Infield, Jordan Bowman is getting a start at third base. Matthew Gonzalez on the left side of the infield as well at short. Ryan Bachman at second. Chase Scott at first. And it is Brinkley Evans who will be doing the catching. He is catching Nolan Walfeltz. First pitch is high to Nick Golden. Golden is doing, like we said, what Kyle Finn did the last time these two teams met, which is start and DH. You'll see him on the mound in the bottom of the first inning, as well as batting second as the DH. That means when he comes out of the lineup, he'll continue to hit. This is popped up third base side. Bowman and Evans both going towards the dugout. Evans makes the play on it, but it bounces just behind him as he overran it a little bit along the third base line. So the ball drops in foul territory for strike 1 to even the count on Golden. Golden's played in 5 games so far as a hitter, and he's been one of their better bats. 7 for 19, which is a .368 batting average. Driven in a run and scored 2. Everson takes off from second. Golden shows bunt, and he bunts it right back to Walfeltz, who will go to first and retire. Golden sacrifice bunt, although he probably was bunting for a hit. Advances Everson to second base. Key to the game, we're going with little Kendrick Lamar. Are they not like us? The Sasquatch dominating the Bison over the first 3 games of this 5-game set. And so for the Sasquatch, they're hoping that trend continues and that they can put up another dominating victory here today and try to hand the Bison their 9th loss of the season. They're 0-8. This pitch is on the outside corner. That's a strike to Mason Daniels, who's back in right field today. We saw him in right field a couple times in the first 3 games of this set. Batting third here this afternoon. Fouls off the 0-1. Wind is blowing out to right field, blowing the flags towards that direction. So a little bit of wind making it feel a little bit cooler at the ballpark, but certainly does feel like it is above 90 degrees, which it is. Daniels has played in 5 games so far as a hitter, and he's batting .250. He is 5 for 20 over those first 5 games. This is outside. 250 batting average, but he has gotten on base at a 348 clip, so getting on base a little bit more often. Big open stance from the right side of the plate. Looks at another pitch outside to even the count. This is low, full count on Daniels. Aiden Hall, the shortstop, is on deck. One out runner on second, just getting underway in the top of the first. Walfelt's pitch is up and away. It's the second walk of the inning issued by Nolan Walfelt. And now Mason Daniels will join Alex Everson on the base paths, first and second. The cleanup hitter, Aiden Hall, now coming up. Hall has also played in all but one game this season. He's played in 7 of the first 8. Goes after the first pitch and fouls it off. 6 for 27 over those first 7 games. A 222 batting average to go along with a 572 OPS. He does have 2 extra base hits in those 6 hits, and both of them are doubles. Second baseman Ryan Bachman having a conversation with Nolan Walfelt, the veteran with the youngster. Bachman in his 4th year, Walfelt in not even his 4th week with the team. Come right out of high school, just like Danny Cook, yet to play in college. Getting an opportunity to get some opportunities against better hitters before he does go to college. This is hit well out to center field, forcing Ben Green back. A few steps in front of the track, he makes the catch, and Alex Everson advances to third on the fly ball. So Hall hits it well, winds up as out number 2, and now Bison will have runners on the corners with 2 away. Walfelt will be going to Bismarck State, the Mystics, in college. He's committed there out of Belfouche High School. So the local products. I'm sure he's got some family at this ball game. I think he did when he made his first debut. The crowd was a little bit louder when he got hits or came on the mound, so hopefully he's got some family here watching him, and hopefully he can pitch well in front of those family if they are here. It's Bryce Gamble trying to put Bison on the board in this top of the first inning. First pitch is a strike. Daniels at first, Everson at third, 2 away, and the catcher Gamble. Gamble's played in all 8 games so far. He is 3 for 18 with a 167 batting average. Trying to get his 4th hit of the season and put Bison on the board. Runner goes from first. It's in the dirt. Evans blocks it. It trickles along the third base line. He doesn't know where it is. No advance there from Daniels, or pardon me, from Everson. Daniels was going on the pitch. He steals second. Third base coach having a quick conversation here with Zachary Nelson. Not sure what they're talking about. Nelson's been already making a lot of conversations here today. He had to break up a standoff to begin the ball game. He had to tell Bison to retreat into their dugout. Now he's having an early conversation with one of the coaches. So busy day in just the top of the first inning. Runners on second and third here now with 2 away. Sasquatch have been so good when they score first. So see if Bison can strike first. The offense came alive a little bit in the series against the Waukee, losing 10-9 last night. In extra innings, this ball's up the middle and a base hit. Bryce Gamble will put Bison on the board first. Everson scores. Throw comes into to home. Daniels scores, and now advancing to second on the throw is Bryce Gamble. 2 RBI single for the catcher, and Bison does strike first. It is 2-0. So Bison strikes first after being shut out almost 2 of the 3 games in these first 3 meetings between these two teams. They only scored 7 runs over their first 3 games against the Sasquatch. Now they've scored 2 here in the top of the first. This pitch is up and away. to David Henry. 1-0 on the left fielder, Henry. Henry's played in 6 games as a hitter so far, 4 for 16 over those first 6. Fouls this pitch into the mitt. Even count on Henry. This is Walfeld's first start of the season. Not gone the way he anticipated. A couple runs on 1 hit. Popped up on the infield. Gonzalez drifting towards the second base bag, puts it away. Henry's retired to end the inning. Gamble's 2-run single brings home Everson and Daniels, and Bison baseball has their first lead against the Sasquatch. An early 2-0 lead with Sasquatch offense coming up.
So surprising. So untamed. So much historical fame. So much to see, hear, smell, taste, enjoy. So pack your bags. Hit the road. Strike gold. Deadwood is waiting. There's so much South Dakota, so little time.
Throughout the region. And at our Ortho Express walk-in clinic when you don't have time to make an appointment. We're here when you need us, working as a team to make your comeback stronger than ever. Getting stronger, getting better, getting you back to your best self. Monument Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, here for whatever moves you.
So the Sasquatch offense find themselves trailing 2-0, and here's how they will line up. Matthew Gonzalez is the shortstop. He leads off. Ben Green in center field bats second. Jordan Bowman will bat third. Ryan Bachman cleans up. Javier Marcial, right fielder, bats fifth. Micah Wallett, sixth. Chase Scott is over at first. He bats seventh. Lane Simons, DH, he bats eighth. And Brinkley Evans rounds out the lineup. He's batting ninth. Sasquatch offense was so potent against Bison baseball, hoping for that same success against an arm they did see once before in that first series. It'll be Nick Golden who will be taking the mound here today. Golden, 7 innings pitched. He started 2 games. One of them was against the Sasquatch. 0-1 record. He's given up 9 runs, 7 of them earned. 4 strikeouts and 6 walks over those first 2 starts. Long look in for Golden before his first pitch to Gonzalez. Misses, ball 1. Golden pitched 5 innings against the Oahe Zap in his first start on the 4th of July. He gave up 3 runs, just 1 of them earned, but was hit a lot harder on the 8th when he faced the Sasquatch. That's when he gave up 6 runs, all of them earned. Walked 4, did not get a strikeout. As Gonzalez pops this pitch up foul, headed our way. Gonzalez is getting a 4th straight start in the leadoff spot. He started each of the first 3 games between these 2 teams. And heading into the series against the Bison, he was 6 for 42 on the season, which is a 143 batting average. But in those 3 games against Bison, he was 8 for 17. Batted 471 over those 3 games. He raised his batting average by 94 points. Went from 143 to where he is now at 237. So big series against the Bison has put his batting average in a respectable spot. He's scored 11 runs in his last 5 games. 1-2, this one hits Gonzalez. So hit by pitch is how the Sasquatch offense begins here in the first. Leadoff runner is aboard. Let's take a look at the Bison defense here today. In the outfield, David Henry, Alex Everson, Mason Daniels, left to right. On the infield, Ethan Kang, Aiden Hall over third and short. Joel Beavers at second and Jackson Takahashi's at first. And it's Bryce Gamble doing the catching of Nick Golden. Conversation between Gamble and Golden. Had the at-bat to Ben Green. Green getting a start back in the lineup. He has been one of the Sasquatch's best bats this summer. Consistent all throughout. A .384 batting average entering today. He's out in front of the first pitch. Counts 0-1. .384 batting average, .509 on base percentage, and an OPS above 1 at 1.102. He has hit 3 home runs as well, which is tied for most on the team. Quickly 0-2. He's also has the team lead in stolen bases at 6. So he's got the power, he's got the speed, and the batting average. Plays good center field as well. And he's reached base safely in all 22 games he's played this year. That's on the outside corner. Green's down on 3 pitches. So Golden, after failing to record a strikeout in his first start against the Sasquatch, he sets down Green on 3 pitches. And that's the first out. Brings up Jordan Bowman. Bowman's been heating up as of late with the bats to go along with what's also been a good year on the mound, doing both this summer. Check in at first on Gonzalez, who does have a couple stolen bases on the year. Bowman went 5 for 5 on July 10th with a home run. He was a triple away from the cycle. Couple doubles in that game, couple singles to go along with a home run. He's raised his batting average on the season now, .361 entering today. And his home run, his third of the season, ties him with Ben Green and Ryan Bachman for most on the team. It's a strike on Bowman. Over his last 11 games for Bowman, it's 16 for 36. That's a .444 batting average. He's hit 2 home runs in that 11-game span. Golden misses with that pitch. Gonzalez got a good read on it, and he takes second base on the pass ball.
That's a pass ball. Okay.
So Gonzalez advances into scoring position here now. So Sasquatch are trying to, they won't be able to score first, but they could get some early offense. They scored a lot of first-inning runs this season, which is part of the reason why they've scored first in so many ball games. Gonzalez now off of second. Pitch to Bowman, a big swing and a miss. Counts 1-2. So Golden's getting the Sasquatch hitters out in front of the baseball here early. Sasquatch had a couple days off while Bison was in Milwaukee. Bison went back to Pierre for a couple games against the Zap, where they lost 11-6. And then last night, 10-9 in 10 innings, a walk-off 2-run hit. And the Zap were able to capture that victory. Pinwheel move, and nobody covering second base. Gonzalez easily able to walk back to the bag. Ball and 2 strikes on Bowman, who's playing third base today. I think it's the first time we've seen him over at third. Saw him in right field last game. 1-2. This is well up and away. Bowman also 20 RBIs on the season. He's driven a lot of runs with runners in scoring position, and we mentioned the last 11 games. He's got 13 RBIs in that span as well. Been driving in a lot of runs. Cues this one over to first base, and it's foul. Bison baseball, much like the Plainsmen, a team that starts up in the second half of the season, plays only on the road, and has a much smaller roster. A couple of the guys on Bison coming over from the Milwaukee Zap as well. Not seeing those guys in the lineup today, but we'll likely see them tomorrow. We've seen already Alec Vincent, Tyler Hoffman play some games. Bounced in the dirt, a full count. Full count on Bowman. Ryan Bachman on deck. Golden trying to avoid his first walk, and so already a hit by pitch in this game. Matthew Gonzalez. Sasquatch looking for their first hit. Golden's 3-2. Swing and a miss. Another Sasquatch hitter out in front. Bowman down on strikes. Back-to-back Ks for Nick Golden. 2 away. That brings up Ryan Bachman. Ryan Bachman. Not much can be said about this guy that we haven't said already. He's first in Sasquatch history in hits, RBIs, and runs. He's batting .393 on the season. Leads this year's team in at-bats, runs, hits, walks. This is in there for a strike. Also, batting average with runners in scoring position, which is .441. He's done it all for the Sasquatch in his 4th and final year with the team, as Bryce Gamble will again go out to talk with Nick Golden on the mound. And you look at what Bachman's done in his Sasquatch career, 221 career hits. The next closest is Johnny McHenry with 122. He's got 143 career RBIs. The next closest is Charles McAdoo with 81. And he's got 174 runs in his Sasquatch career. The next closest is Johnny McHenry with 99. He's tied for first in Sasquatch history in home runs now as well with 11, tied with DJ Van Atten. Chance to get that 4th home run of the season and break that tie at some point as well. So he will go down in history as probably the greatest Sasquatch to ever play. This is his 29th game played of the season. He's hit safely in 24 of 28 entering today, and he's reached base safely in all 28. That is on the outside corner, strike 2. Well, seeing the scouting report early on here on home plate umpire Zachary Nelson, the outside corner seems to be a little bit bigger, and that is Nick Golden's spot right now. Got Ben Green looking on a pitch on the outside corner. We'll see if Nolan Walfelt and Sasquatch pitching goes with the same thing. Again, the outside corner. This one is just off the edge. As Golden was testing how far he could go. Doesn't get the call on 0-2. Thought he had a 3rd straight punch out to finish the frame. 1-2 is popped up left side of the infield. Who's going to get it, Hall or Kang? The shortstop, Aiden Hall, calls him off and makes the catch. Does it for the bottom of the 1st inning. The Sasquatch get a leadoff hit by pitch, but 3 straight outs by Nick Golden. Strands Matthew Gonzalez at second base. And after 1 inning of play, Bison Baseball leads it 2-0.
Family Chiropractic and Sports Performance.
We all take different paths in life. That's why we utilize multiple different treatments here at Peak. Our main treatment is our high-level chiropractic adjustment, but we also emphasize the use of cupping, scraping, vibration massage, trigger point therapy, and active care to promote movement, strength, mobility, and most of all, pain relief. Why travel to multiple locations when you can have total wellness under one roof? Stop in today and let's get you to your peak.
Extreme rock climbs in views that will take your breath away. Plan a Spearfish vacation and come find your adventure. Spearfish, my great place in South Dakota.
Walfelt's first pitch to Ethan Kang is fouled away. 7, 8, 9 in the Bison order. Ethan Kang, Jackson Takahashi, and Joel Beaver. Going up against Nolan Walfelt. Walfelt had to throw 25 pitches in that 1st inning. He only gave up 1 hit. That was the RBI single. But 2 runs in. He's ahead of Kang here now, 1-2. Kang entering today. He's played in all 8 games so far for Bison baseball. Saw him at the leadoff spot a couple times. Down at 7th spot in the order now. In those 8 games, he's 5 for 25, a 200 batting average. 1 extra base hit. It was a double. Looks at a pitch high. He's walked 3 times as well, and he scored 2 runs. One of the Bison's better players in this early going. Only a couple more series left on tap for Bison baseball before their summer is done, the abbreviated summer. Loses the handle there on maybe a curveball. Gets away from him to even the count. Saw Walfelt struggle a bit with the command in the first inning. He walked Everson and Daniels, and that allowed for Gamble to get that 2-run single up the middle. It wasn't hit particularly hard. The hardest ball hit in that inning was probably Aiden Hall's fly out to center field. But a couple walks come back to haunt you. Walfelt trying to retire the leadoff hitter in Ethan Kang. Popped up into shallow right center field. Green drifting over. So is Marcial from right, and it's Javier Marcial who calls off Green to make the catch. 1 up and 1 down. Lee Jackson Takahashi, the first baseman. Takahashi, a guy who's both pitched and hit, as have a lot of guys on this Bison roster. They only have 22 total players. A lot of those guys are two-way guys. They have to pitch and hit. Whether they're comfortable doing one or the other, it doesn't really matter. They need them on the mound, so got to be able to come in. We've seen already a couple times bringing in position players without even throwing a bullpen beforehand. They just go right out to the mound, say, hey, you from second base, come in and finish off this inning, and they do. Walfelt behind Takahashi 2-0. That's in the air to left field, pretty well struck. Wallette and Green are both going back on it. It's going to stay in the park, and Wallette makes the catch in left center fields. A couple flyouts to begin the second inning for Nolan Walfelt, 2 up and 2 down. That's the 9th spot in the order, Joel Beaver. Beaver's played in 3 games so far as a hitter, 1 for 10 over those first 3. Goes after the first pitch, grounds it to third. It goes off of Bowman's glove. It goes to Gonzalez, but he'll have no play. It was a hard hit ball, but it was right at Bowman. We'll see what the scoring is. Beaver reaches. It'll be an error at third base on Jordan Bowman. Didn't get a chance to talk with head coach Justice Scott about Jordan Bowman at third base and how comfortable he would be in that position. I remember him talking to me about him being comfortable out in right fields, playing corner outfields. I've seen him a lot at first base when he's not pitching or DHing. I think this is the first time we're seeing him over at third base in his first opportunity. Joel Beaver reaches on an error. Extends the inning, goes back to the top with 2 outs, the fastball. Alex Everson late on that pitch. Sasquatch entering today 63 errors per game, 63 errors on the season, which is an average of 1.75 per game. Runner goes, foul away. And on the note of fielding percentage, as a team, 952 is their fielding percentage. Only the Zap have a worse fielding percentage among playoff-eligible teams. So that includes the Moose, Spuds, Sodbusters, and of course the Sasquatch and Zap. Sasquatch are second to last in that category, so certainly like to see them tighten up the defense down the stretch. When the offense is putting up 10 runs per game, it seems like you can afford maybe some of those errors, but not in the long run. Everson is down on strikes. That's the first strikeout of the game for Nolan Walfelt, and that ends the top of the second inning. So the error does not come back to bite the Sasquatch. No runs in the frame. And we head to the bottom of the second inning, still 2-0.
You know the locals' choice for gaming excitement? It's the Lodge at Deadwood Gaming Resort. With new games arriving every month, our selection of slot machines is the freshest in town. You can always find a game with our card tables open 24 hours a day. And parking is free and easy at the Lodge, with the area's largest free parking only steps away from our front door. Enjoy spacious and comfortable gaming at the Lodge at Deadwood, the locals' choice.
It was on the ad. Who's up first, Bobby?
Spearfish Sasquatch, number 23, right fielder, Javier Marcial.
Good first inning by Nick Golden. 18 pitches, 12 of them for strikes. He only gave up the one base runner. He hit Matthew Gonzalez on a 2-strike pitch. First batter he faced, and then tied the next 3 in order. Wallfeld's a good bounce back top of the second inning, hoping his offense give him some support in the frame. Marcial looks to strike one. It's Marcial, Wallett, and Chase Scott. 5, 6, 7 in the order for the Sasquatch. Javier Marcial getting a start in right field today. Golden sets up pretty far on the right side of the rubber. Or I guess depends how you look at it. The third base side of the rubber. Easier to identify. That's in there for a strike. He's ahead of Marcial 0-2. Mentioned he didn't have a strikeout in the first game he pitched against the Sasquatch. Take a look at the numbers for Marcial in the season. 228 batting average entering today. He's got 16 RBIs on the season, 21 runs scored as well. Behind in the count, 0-2. Sails inside. Marcial had a really good month of June. Didn't get a hit in May, but in June he was 15 for 44. He batted .341 in the month, hit 2 home runs, drove in 11, scored 14 runs, and it's been a little bit more quiet to start July, but hoping he could turn it around. So he gets a first pitch, or pardon me, a leadoff single. Here in the bottom of the second inning, he ropes one into left field, dropping in front of David Henry. And a base hit to begin the frame. Now here's Micah Wallett. Wallett is getting a start in outfield opposite to Marcial over in left. Numbers sort of similar to Javier Marcial on the season. But he's a guy who's been heating up over his last 6 games. This is way up and away. Good stop by Gamble. Like I said, the numbers pretty similar. I mean, 234 batting average, 387 on base percentage. He's got 8 RBIs in 16 games played. But he works a lot of long at-bats. Entering today, 25.81% of his at-bats go 6 or more pitches. Sees a lot of pitches, and that's helped him heat up a little bit over his last 6 games, where he is 6 for 18, batting .333 over that stretch. He's got 3 RBIs and 9 runs scored as well over those last 6 games. Throw over to Marcial. He gets back standing up. In the air, left field, not very deep. Coming on is Henry. Going back on it is Hall. It's going to be a tough play, and Aiden Hall could not make the catch. Javier Marcial read it well. gets into second base. That'll probably be a base hit. Really tough play for the shortstop going out there. He was probably hoping that David Henry was going to call him off at some point, but he never did. Winds up dropping in shallow left field. And the Sasquatch have 2 on with nobody out. First and second, and Chase Scott now at the dish. Scott this season, this is now his 4th game played. He made a 1 pinch hit opportunity in the game on July 10th. So it's his 3rd start. He cuts through that pitch. In those 3, he is 3 for 14, a .214 batting average. He's got 2 RBIs and 3 runs scored. And on that pop-up by Micah Wallett, they're going to roll out an error at shortstop on Aiden Hall. A tough error. That is a tough play to make. No hit for Wallett. This pitch is in the dirt. Scott in his first game, he went 1 for 7 in his Sasquatch debut as a DH on July 8th. He got a single in that ball game, also scored a run. And the next day he was 2 for 6. And in his 1 pinch hit opportunity on the 10th, he was retired. This one catches the inside corner, 1-2. Definitely a pitcher-friendly umpire by the looks of things is Zachary Nelson. Seems to be giving a little bit off both the inside edge and the outside corner early on in the ball game. Golden painting those corners. The 1-2. And Scott goes down on strikes. 3rd strikeout of the game already for Nick Golden, who's pitching much better against this team the 2nd time through. It's a big strikeout to keep both the runners put. Brings up a power threat in Lane Syme. Mentioned Syme's name when Green and Bachman came up. 3 home runs on the season. Syme, Green, and Bachman all with 3 entering today. Fouled straight back off the bat of Syme. Pitched for the first time as well in that bullpen game on Wednesday. 15 games played as a hitter, though. You saw the numbers, .245 batting average to go along with those 3 home runs. 11 RBIs as well. 0-1. 1-1. Had a good month of June. He batted .303 in June. .410 on base percentage and had an OPS 1.016 in the month. His total OPS on the season, .934. In the air, left field, pretty well struck. Henry's going back, and he dives, and it goes off his glove and falls. Marcial rounds 3rd. He'll head home. The throw comes into 3rd. Wallett is in there safely. RBI double for Lane Syme. And it's a 2-1 game. So Marcial scores from second base. Good base running by both him and Wallett to see where that ball was going. And to make sure they advance, Sasquatch will have runners on 2nd and 3rd with 1 away. Bison baseball brings the infield in. Looking to cut down a runner at the plate. 9th spot in the order, Brinkley Evans comes up. Evans has been hitting the ball much better over his last 5 games and over his last 29 at-bats. He was hitless in his first 10 at-bats of the summer. He was 0 for 10, and then since that point, he's now 11 for 29. So he's batting .379 over his last 29, and this is in the air to left center field. This ball is going to be caught by Alex Everson, but it should tie the game. Wallett comes in to score. Not a hit for Brinkley Evans, but it is a sacrifice fly to tie the ball game 2 apiece. Syme stays put at second base. Wallett comes in to score. And because of the error on that play from Wallett, scored an error and not a hit. Be some unearned runs in the frame for the Sasquatch. Won't hurt Nick Golden's ERA. Game is tied here in the bottom of the 2nd inning with Lane Syme at second base, and back to the top of the order we go with Matthew Gonzalez. Looks at ball 1. Gonzalez was hit by a pitch in the bottom of the 1st inning. He's left stranded at second base. Golden started his motion there before Gonzalez got set, so he calls time. Look at the full numbers from Gonzalez, 237 batting average, and like we talked about, much better over his last few games. Raised his batting average by almost 100 points just in the series against the Bison, where he had 8 hits and 17 at-bats versus the 6 hits he had at 42 at-bats before that span. Raised his batting average from 143 to 237. 1-0. 1-1. Golden with 3 strikeouts in the game. 36 pitches through 1 2/3. 2 hits allowed, both of them in this inning. And the error means both those runs are unearned. This is into right center field, and that ball will get down in front of Daniels. They're going to wave Syme home, throw his cutoff, relay to the plate is in time. They got him. A great relay throw, cut off by Takahashi at first base, and then the relay to the plate in time to get Syme. The throw was a little bit up the line, and that probably helped out the Bison, as the catcher, Bryce Gamble, caught the ball and instantly applied the tag, and the Sasquatch make the 3rd out of the inning at home. As we head to the 3rd inning, score is tied to apiece.
So they know my sweet baby loves me so. She got me going, yeah, she turns me on. And she loves me, yeah, she loves me, and it blows my mind. Hey, nice try. Yeah, it blows my mind. She's my lover.
So from on the mound to in the box, Nick Golden leads things off in the 3rd. Rips the first pitch into right field, but right at Javier Marcial. Unfortunate there for Golden as he hit that ball well, but perfectly positioned was Javier Marcial. And a flyout on 1 pitch begins the 3rd inning. Appreciate you for joining us for some of your Saturday afternoon. Watching some baseball here at Black Hills Energy Stadium. Sasquatch and the Bison. First of 2 this weekend. Another pitch, first pitch swinging on the ground to Bowman. The throw from 3rd is in time. 2 pitches and 2 outs here in the top of the 3rd. Well, you figure in a situation like this, when you're due up 3rd, and the first 2 guys get out on the first 2 pitches, it's almost a red light all the way. Don't let the guy have a 3-pitch inning, but you never know. See what Aiden Hall decides to do. He flew out to center, hit the ball well in his first at-bat. Taken the whole way, looks at strike 1. Nolan Walfelt thought the same thing. Almost a free strike there. So he gets ahead of Hall, 0-1. Grounded left side. Gonzalez dives, but it gets past him and into left field. Try to come back at him with a fastball, and Hall with another good swing of the bat. This time he gets rewarded with a 2-out single. Nothing clean so far for Nolan Walfeltz. have to go through Bryce Gamble, who will take off the catching gear ahead of this at-bat. Gamble has done the damage so far for Bison baseball. Drove in both Everson and Daniels with a 2 RBI single up the middle. That was in the top of the first inning. Walfelt trying to work through a third frame. Fouls this pitch back. Counts 0-1. Heading into today, the Sasquatch are 12-2 in games where their starting pitcher has gone at least 5 innings pitched. And in games where the starter goes less than 5, they are 11-11. Certainly fare better when their starter works at least through 5 or into the 6th inning. See if Walfelt can get that done here today as Gamble fouls off the 0-1. Walfelt's pitch count not in terrible shape. He'll throw his 45th pitch of the ball game on this 0-2 to Gamble. Going to strand the 2-out single from Aiden Hall. Comes Walfelt's pitch. Hall takes off and Gamble slices it foul to right field. Do it again here with 2 strikes. Bison without one of their top guys in their lineup, Dayton Francis, who's been doing a lot of damage for the team. He's out of the lineup today, but he could appear as a pinch hitter, presumably. Gamble's hit today was just his 4th of the season, and his first 2 runs batted in on the year. Walfelt looking for his 2nd strikeout of the game. Got Everson looking to end the 2nd inning. See if he can get Gamble to end the 3rd. 1-2 pitch. Just low on the fastball. 2-2. Hall a small lead at first base. Doesn't go. The 2-2 pitch got him swinging. 2nd strikeout of the game for Nolan Walfelt, and a beer batter strikeout finishes off the top of the 3rd inning. Gamble is down on strikes, and as we head to the bottom of the frame, still tied at 2.
New games every month at the Lodge. We are constantly updating our gaming floor with the latest fun games to keep our guests entertained with new games every month. For the freshest selection of slot machines in town, make the Lodge at Deadwood your gaming destination. The locals' choice for gaming excitement with the newest games is the Lodge at Deadwood Gaming Resort.
So surprising. So untamed. So much historical fame. So much to see, hear, smell, taste, enjoy. So pack your bags. Hit the road. Strike gold. Deadwood is waiting. There's so much South Dakota, so little time.
As we get set for the bottom of the 3rd inning, the heart of the Sasquatch order to come up. Ben Green, Jordan Bowman, and Ryan Bachman, 2 big, powerful hitters in the Sasquatch lineup, and Sasquatch as a team entering today Their team batting average of 321 is best in the ILB. They've got 9 guys on their team who are batting 300 or above with a minimum of 15 games played. Green waves and misses strike one, and all 9 of those guys are not only batting 300 or above entering today, but they're batting 333 or above entering today. And the 3 guys coming up in this frame all fit that category. Ben Green waves and misses. He's behind the count here 0-2. Golden got the better of Green the first time up, struck him out on 3 pitches. So Green's seen 5 strikes in this game. Golden trying to strike him out on 3 pitches again here to begin the bottom of the third. Instead, he gets a ground ball to second, playable there at second base by Beaver, and Green is thrown out for the first out. Pack scheduled in the ILB today, so we take a look around the league for the first time. We got a pitcher's duel going on between the Prospects and the Fremont Moo. That game is in the bottom of the 4th inning. Fremont Moo just got the first hit of the game for either team, as Robert O'Malley for the Fremont Moo's gone 4 innings pitched. He struck out 4, 1 walk, and he hasn't allowed a hit thus far. And then Cooper Kotsky has been shutting down the Moo through 3 innings, just gave up his first hit of the game in that 4th inning. So, of course, there's no score out there in Fremont. Good pitcher's duel going out there in Fremont. And then on the other side of things, the other game going on in the ILB today is the Hastings Sodbusters and the Casper Spuds. Those teams matched up first in Hastings and now in Casper. And the Sodbusters have won the last 2 against Casper. They put up a dominating win last night. And so after the Spuds had won over 20 games in a row, they've now lost each of their last 2. Long pause on the mound from Golden. Time is finally called by Bowman. Golden's taking a long time there on the mound. Both Bowman and, it seems like, judging by the body language, Zachary Nelson, the home plate umpire, who, like we mentioned in the first inning, he's been in the action a lot more than umpires usually are in this ball game. Had to do a lot in the first inning, and he's getting involved again. Bowman rips one. A diving play at shortstop. What a grab. Aiden Hall. A phenomenal play. Takes a base hit away from Jordan Bowman as he dives headfirst towards second base and makes an amazing play on the line drive. Helps out Nick Golden, and that's 2 up and 2 down in the frame. Well, this is the part of the lineup that is dangerous for Nick Golden and for pitchers in general, going up against Green, Bowman, Bachman in today's order. So far, so good. 0 for 5. For those 3 hitters, this is Bachman's second time facing them, so a chance for Golden to set down 2, 3, 4 in the order each of their first 2 times. Bachman popped out to shortstop his first time. He's ahead in the count 2-0. Bachman, like we talked about, what more can you really say about the season he's having? 81 quality at-bats. Over half of his at-bats are quality ABs. Cuts through that pitch 2-1. Currently on an 18-game hitting streak where he's batting close to 450. 446 over his last 18 games with hits in each of those. And then over his last 8, he's batting .517. He's 15 for 29. And he lines one into right center field. Long run by Everson. He's going to not get to that ball. It's over his head, and it goes to the wall. Bachman hustling around second base. He's going to stop right there. Double cutoff man in the outfield, and the crowd wanted him to try for third. He doesn't. Instead, he stops at second base. The hit streak extended to 19 games. Another extra base hit for Ryan Bachman, and he's now at second base with 2 outs. If he did try to go to third, in danger of recording the third out of the inning on the base pass for a second straight inning, as Lane Syme was thrown out at the plate in the bottom of the second inning on a base hit from Matthew Gonzalez, with a good play in right field by Mason Daniels, cut off by Takahashi, and then they got Syme at the plate to end the frame. So Bachman will stop at second base. He trusts Marcial to drive him in. And he gets under a pitch out to left field. Drifting over towards the line is David Henry from left. And right on the line, he makes the catch to end the inning. Sasquatch get a 2-out double from Ryan Bachman, but he is left stranded. We've played 3 here at Black Hills Energy Stadium. Score tied at 2.
So surprising. So untamed. So much historical fame. So much to see, hear, smell, taste, enjoy. So pack your bags. Hit the road. Strike gold. Deadwood is waiting. There's so much South Dakota, so little time.
So Henry, who made the final catch of the bottom of the 3rd inning, leads things off in the top of the 4th. Henry, King, and Takahashi against Nolan Walfelt, who's back out there for a 4th inning of work. That pitch was his 49th, so this will be his 50th of the ball game. And it misses 50 pitches, 29 of them for strikes. 2 runs, both of them earned. He's given up 2 hits, 2 walks, and he struck out 2. A lot of 2s for number 20. Behind of Henry here 3-0. Henry popped out to short in the 1st inning. 0 for 1 on the day. Comes back there with a strike. 3-1. And that's high. So Walfelt, who walked 2 guys in the 1st inning, 2 of the first 3 batters of the ball game, reached on free passes. He hadn't given up one since then, but a leadoff walk begins the 4th inning. So here's Ethan Kang. Kang looks at ball 1, the command escaping Walfelt here. Kang started off his season, he was 3 for his first 7, first 2 games against the Milwaukee Zap, but entering today 5 for 25. He's been a little bit colder over this recent stretch. Grounds one to the left side, that ball is foul. Just barely foul. Along the left side, that looked close. And the Sasquatch catch a break. That ball would have headed for the corner and at least been 2nd and 3rd with nobody out. Possibly even bringing Henry home from first base. Instead, it is a foul ball and strike 1. This is the bottom 3rd of the order now. Ethan Kang hit a hard fly ball out to right fields in the 2nd inning. Grounds one again to the left side. This one gets past a diving Bowman into left field. A walk and a single have Bison set up here in the 4th inning with still nobody out. First and 2nd for Jackson Takahashi, who flew out to left in the 2nd inning. Pitch is high, 1-0. See how head coach Justice Scott decides to navigate this game with the bullpen. Had a couple days off, so the best relievers are still available. Might have to go with those relievers even though he wasn't anticipating it. Guys like Aiden Torpy and Elijah Bobo might have to come into play today. So this game is tied at 2 apiece, and these are games the Sasquatch have to capitalize on. They end their season with Casper and Fremont, two of the better teams in the league. Takahashi fouls his pitch off. You got to take advantage of the games like this against the Plainsmen and against the Bison. And even coming up against the Zap, that's who they play after this series. Finish up this series tomorrow at a 4:05 first pitch on our Sunday afternoon slate before they head to Oahe starting on Monday. Takahashi grounded, left side, nobody there. This one gets into left field. Coming up throwing is Wallett. He airs it out all the way to the plate. It's over the head of Brinkley Evans. Run comes in to score. Both runners will advance on the throw. It'll be an RBI single for Jackson Takahashi and 2 in scoring position with nobody out after the throw from left field. Michael Wallett unable to hit the cutoff man there, and it could prove costly here in the frame as Bison retakes the lead off of Takahashi's RBI single. Ethan Kang is now at third base. Takahashi over at second. 9th spot in the order, Joel Beaver. The Sasquatch keep the infield back. Jordan Bowman and Chase Scott creeping in a little bit on the corners. Beaver shows bunt. It's bunted along the first base line. Scott falls down. It gets past him. And that's an RBI bunt single by Joel Beaver. That scores Ethan Kang, and it is 4-2, still with nobody out. Well, we saw the Bison. They were not afraid to bunt over the first 3 games of this series. Nick Golden showed bunt a couple of times. He already sacrificed bunted in the first inning of this ball game. He was probably bunting a little bit more for a hit, but still a bunt nonetheless. And now we got another bunt here from Joel Beaver, and it was done beautifully. Even if Scott doesn't fall down, I don't know if they get anybody there on that play regardless. Everson pops this one up foul, heading into the stands to our left. Strike one on Everson. We're back to the top of the lineup with runners on the corners. Beaver clearly with a little bit of speed over at first base after his bunt, so they could send him in motion, and we'll see what the Sasquatch do if that is the case, whether they throw down or not. Pitches at the top of the zone to Everson. 0-2. This would be a big strikeout here for Walfelt. Middle infield's hoping for a double play. Corners a little bit in. You got Jordan Bowman playing on the cutout, and then Chase Scott is holding on Beaver at first base, who's got a big lead over there. He takes off. Pitches low. Evans throws down, and in safely with a stolen base is Beaver. So the stolen base puts 2 in scoring position once again for Bison baseball. And still a quiet Sasquatch bullpen for the time being. Trying to get Walfelt through this frame. Ball and 2 strikes to Everson. It's high. Everson a walk and a strikeout. No contact day so far. Came around to score a run in the first inning. Went down looking in the second. Walfelt's 2-2. This is low. So now it's a full count, in danger of walking the bases loaded with Nick Golden coming up next. Walfelt has walked 3 today. He walked 2 early in the first inning, and he walked David Henry to begin this half inning. 3-2's lifted in the air. Pretty shallow left field. Wallett is coming in. He makes the catch, no tag. So a good pop-out / fly out there off the bat of Alex Everson that keeps the runners put. Big first out of this frame for Nolan Walfelt, pardon me. This would be huge if he can get out of this half inning with just the 2 runs allowed. Sasquatch offense, 4 runs is not out of the realm of possibility. They can score close to 10 per game. See if Walfeld can stop the bleeding here. Golden at the dish. First pitch. That's blocked behind the plate by Evans. Good stop. Everything in the dirt. Evans has to become a wall behind the plate. Golden, like we mentioned, sacrificed bunt in the first inning, and he also flew out in the ninth. Or pardon me, in the third. He flew out to right. Ball and no strikes. 1-1. Gets a fastball at the top of the zone. Now we're in the 2-3-4 part of the Bison order with Golden, who's been one of the Bison better hitters, 7 for 19 entering today. Lines one up the middle. That's a base hit, and that'll score at least one. Here comes Beaver. He'll stop at third. The throw comes all the way into the plate. Going for second is Golden. The throw's right on the money, and they got him. Golden trying to advance to second base. He's gunned down. 8-2-6. Throw came in from center field by Ben Green. Brinkley Evans coming up the line on the third base side. Throws a bullet to second base, and they get Nick Golden for the second out. It's an RBI single for Golden as he scored Jackson Takahashi. Joel Beaver advances to third, and now there's 2 outs in the frame. Daniel fouls the first pitch off. So 3 runs in the inning for Bison, with a chance for Walfeld to stop it there with a little bit of help from his defense and base running mistake by Golden. Daniel's a walk and a ground out to this point. Another good stop by Evans. Talked about quite a bit. The Sasquatch have 4 different catchers that are eligible, or I should say that are capable of manning behind the plate. Jake Dempsey, Nolan Ackerman, Brinkley Evans, and Chance Green. This is fouled off. And Brinkley Evans had lost a bit of playing time, probably in part due to his bat being quiet to start the year where he was 0 for 10 like we talked about when he was hitting. But the defense has been better as of late for Evans. He's thrown out a couple runners stealing, and the bat has been there as well. Seen already a couple good stops behind the plate on what could have been wild pitches to bring home a run. 1-2's in there for a strike, and Walfeld strikes out Daniels to finish off the 4th inning. 3 runs come in to score for Bison baseball, and they'll carry a 5-2 lead. We'll see if the Sasquatch bats can help out Walfeld here in the 4th.
Human Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine is everywhere you need us to be. On the sidelines to support our local athletes, at our clinic locations throughout the region, and at our Ortho Express walk-in clinic when you don't have time to make an appointment. We're here when you need us, working as a team to make your comeback stronger than ever. Getting stronger, getting better, getting you back to your best self. Monument Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, here for whatever moves you.
So surprising. So untamed. So much historical fame. So much to see, hear, smell, taste, enjoy. So pack your bags. Hit the road. Strike gold. Deadwood is waiting. There's so much South Dakota, so little time.
Wallet into shallow center fields. Drifting over is Everson, 1 pitch and 1 out. To begin the 4th. Golden was getting patched up on the left side of the infields before taking the mound after his slide into second base. Scuffed up his left arm. He's back out there on the mound. Chase Scott digs in. Ball, no strikes to Scott, who struck out in the 2nd inning. Ball and a strike. Bison bringing home 3 runs in the 4th inning. Sasquatch now find themselves trailing by 3, 5-2 the score. Gonna need the offense to play like they have over the first 3 games of this series, where they put up 20 runs twice. Two and two on Scott, trying to avoid another strikeout here. Golden's been pretty good on the mound facing this team for a 2nd time, and he's fared much better here on Saturday afternoon. It's low, full count. Lane Syme is due up next. Bottom part of the order for the Sasquatch. Foul away. That one, wildest we've seen from Golden. He just lost the handle there. Misses badly on the 3-2, so Scott reaches on a walk. One aboard, and Lane Syme coming up.
Now batting for the Sasquatch, number 12, Lane Syme.
First, they'll check in over at Scott. Syme entering today, 8 of 12 hits were extra base hits, and he had another double in the 2nd inning. So now 9 of his 13 hits have gone for extra bases, 5 doubles, a triple, and 3 home runs. Another pitch missing badly from Golden. That's ball 1. See if the Sasquatch can get some offense out of the bottom part of their order and bring up the middle with some guys on base. One away, runner on first. Bison leading 5-2. We're in the bottom of the 4th. Syme into left center field. This might be extra bases as well. Going back on it is Henry, and he makes a nice running catch in front of the warning track, robbing Syme of extra bases. Another good swing of the bat by Lane Syme, but a better play in left field by David Henry, and that's the out, number 2. Take a look here at the ILB standings. You can see it's sorted by 2nd half. You got the total records there next to each team. So the Casper Spuds 31-6. They also have the best record in the 2nd half, and Sasquatch 9-2 in the 2nd half. So if they keep winning, they can rival the Casper Spuds there, who've already now lost twice in the 2nd half of the season. The best record in half number 2 goes to the playoffs as the 2nd seed, and if it is the same team who won the 1st half, in this case the Casper Spuds, it's the team with the next best overall record, which right now is the Sasquatch. Evans looped into left field, long run from Henry's not going to get there. Drops in front of him. A productive day for Brinkley Evans, a sac fly, now a 2-out single. And that extends the inning. Puts 2 on. The top of the order, Matthew Gonzalez.
Now batting for the Spearfish Sasquatch, shortstop, number 11, Matt Gonzalez.
Gonzalez a hit today and a hit by pitch. Been on base both times. 9 for 18 against the Bison, including today. Fouled straight back. If he keeps playing against the Bison, maybe the rest of the year he'll bat over 300 on the season. Seeing this team well, and in a 4th straight start in the leadoff spot. He's doing his job on base both times, trying to get a base hit here and maybe bring home a run, get one right back. Another pitch that drifts up and away from Golden. He's losing that maybe curveball. Can't see the grip from here, or what he's trying to throw. The ball's not moving on those pitches up and away, but losing the grip. He's had a couple pitches this inning sail that way, none the previous 3 innings. So you wonder maybe if that dive into second base, the bandage on his arm, is troubling him in any way. 2 balls and a strike to Gonzalez, a dangerous hitter on deck, even though it's lefty-lefty. Got Ben Green, who's 0 for 2 today. Sasquatch would love to get him an opportunity with guys on. 3-1 on Gonzalez. Big pitch here, 3-1. Ball 4. Gonzalez walks, the bases are loaded. And a big at-bat here for Ben Green. Meeting on the mound here, they'll talk with Golden. Golden had a real nice 3rd inning, gave up just 1 hit, the double by Bachman. Struggled a bit in the 2nd inning, but was good as well in the 1st. This is the wildest we've seen the command from Golden, missing with more pitches in this frame than the previous few. He's only walked 2 batters today, and both of them were in this frame. To Scott and Gonzalez. He's thrown 63 pitches, 39 of them for strikes, so he's been in the zone. 5 hits and 2 runs, neither of them earned as well, as both of those runs that came in the 2nd inning came after the error on the Wallett pop-up to left fields. So a chance here for Ben Green, who's been so good for the Sasquatch this season. Batting .429 with runners in scoring position entering today. The runners will get big leads here as Golden is working out of the windup. Another pitch that sails up and in. That goes behind Green, and a fortunate bounce for Bison as nobody comes home. Bounce right back off the screen and right back to Bryce Gamble. 1-0 on Green. Batting close to 400 on the season, 384. On base percentage over 500, OPS 1.102 entering today. 1-0, 2-0. Might be able to see there Ben Green. I think he's the only player wearing a lei today for the Sasquatch. It's luau night, and he's got one underneath his jersey. Hoping it gives him a hit here. Again, he's out in front of the pitch from Golden. We saw that both of the first 2 times against Nick Golden on the mound. He struck out looking on 3 pitches in the 1st inning and grounded out in the 2nd inning. Golden's had his number. 2-1. This gets away from Gamble. Scott's going to come home. Everybody's going to advance. It's a wild pitch that brings home a run. The Sasquatch at least don't go empty-handed in the frame. Everybody moves up on the wild pitch. And the Sasquatch inch closer. It's now a 5-3 ball game. Still a big spot, though, for Green. Ahead of a 3-1 pitch and another powerful big bat on deck and Jordan Bowman. 3-1. Green's out in front again. Now the count is full. Full count, 2 on, 2 outs. Sasquatch trailing by 2. Pitch from Golden. Chopped weakly, third base line. It gets away from Golden. Here comes Evans. He will score. The throw gets away. Gonzalez is going to third. That's going to be an error on Nick Golden. Green over at first, and the Sasquatch have pulled within 1. Now it's 5-4. Tying run as well over at third base with Jordan Bowman. See if they give Green a hit on that. Certainly an error on the throw to the plate, but it could be a base hit for Ben Green, able to get to first. Jordan Bowman looks at strike 1, almost looked like it hit him. So the count 1-0, runners on the corners, in a 1-run ball game here in the 5th. Golden trying to work through this inning. Misses on that pitch. Green's going to go to second base. Gonzalez stays at third. A pair in scoring position, and now a chance for Jordan Bowman to give the Sasquatch a lead here in the bottom of the 4th. First 3 innings went by fairly quickly, but 3 runs for Bison in the top of the 4th inning. And the Sasquatch trying to answer back with 3 or more of their own in the frame. A ball and a strike on Bowman. Back out of the windup for Golden. Finds the zone on 1-1. Bowman, one of those guys batting over 300, over 333. Entered today 361. He's got strikeout and a line out today. It's one into left center field. This will stay in the park. Everson and Henry. Everson from center makes the catch. After 4 innings of play, the Sasquatch bring home 2, cut the deficit, and it's a 5-4 Bison lead.
Home for the newest games is at the Lodge at Deadwood Gaming Resort. When you're looking for the latest and greatest games, the Lodge is the place for you, as we are constantly updating our gaming floor with new and exciting games. There's always something fresh and fun at the Lodge at Deadwood Gaming Resort. Your home for the newest games.
Human Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine is everywhere you need us to be. On the sidelines to support our local athletes, at our clinic locations throughout the region, and at our Ortho Express walk-in clinic when you don't have time to make an appointment. We're here when you need us, working as a team to make your comeback stronger than ever. Getting stronger, getting better, getting you back to your best self. Monument Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, here for whatever moves you.
So surprising. So untamed. So much historical fame. So much to see, hear, smell, taste, enjoy. So pack your bags. Hit the road. Strike gold. Deadwood is waiting. There's so much South Dakota, so little time.
Andrew Argenziano is into the ballgame for the Sasquatch, and we'll take a look at what he's done this season. 12 innings pitched, he's allowed 16 runs, 14 of them earned, a 10.50 ERA and a 1.92 whip. He's given up 10 walks and 10 strikeouts. He's also had 10 wild pitches in just 12 innings pitched, so the command has certainly been an issue for Argenziano thus far. He does have 14 strikeouts, so over 1 strikeout per inning. And he'll try to work through the 5th inning. Beginning with Aiden Hall, who he nearly hits on the first pitch. It's Hall, Gamble, and Henry going up against Argenziano. The day is done for Nolan Walfelt. He goes just 4 innings here today. That's in the air left field. That's got a chance. Wallette is back at the track, at the wall, out of sight. Aiden Hall, a home run. And the first batter Argenziano faces, Aiden Hall, gives him a welcome with a home run. And it's a 6-4 Bison lead. So that'll quiet the crowd here a bit at the ballpark. Home run off the bat of Aiden Hall. After a couple runs for the Sasquatch in the bottom of the 4th inning, Bison get one right back. Aiden Hall, a solo shot. And now it's Bryce Gamble at the dish. This one hits him. There you see the command from Argenziano get away from him and hit by pitch to Gamble. First pitch after the home run. And Gamble will be aboard at first. Gave you the numbers as well when Walfelt was pitching. Sasquatch are 12-2 in games where their starter goes at least 5 innings. But in today's case, where they do not go 5 innings, Sasquatch are just 11-11 in games where they do not. There's another hit by pitch. Another ball gets away from Argenziano. Henry is hit. And now there'll be 2 aboard with nobody out. Even though that looks like there might have been intent there because of the home run and the following 2 pitches, Argenziano's had command issues all year long, so hard to imagine there's any intent there. First and second, nobody out. It's Ethan Kang at the dish. This one's on the inside corner, strike 1. Argenziano's got that sidearm delivery and starts that ball almost at the righty's hip. So if that ball doesn't come out correctly, it's not going to leave the righty's hip and it'll end up hitting them. That's what happens a lot. This is high. 1-1 to Kang. Flat and a single for Kang today. He's also scored a run. That was in the 4th. Part of a 3-run 4th inning for Bison. They've done their damage in the 1st and the 4th. 2 in the 1st, 3 in the 4th, and now 1 in the 6th. Into right, fouled away. Ball 2 strikes on Kang. This is the bottom third of the order for Bison baseball. Still nobody out, 2 on. Into right, Marcial goes back on it. Now he'll make the catch. No tag at second base from Gamble. Kang flies out, and there is the first out. We're going to round the ILB. Fremont Moo and Nebraska prospects. Robert O'Malley had 5 no-hit frames before giving up a run in the top of the 6th inning. And the Moo offense couldn't support what's been a great outing so far for O'Malley. 6 innings pitched, an unearned run, and 8 strikeouts on just 1 hit for the Fremont starter. On the other side of things, the Moo have no runs, but they do have 2nd and 3rd and 1 away, trailing 1-0 in that game out in Fremont. This one gets away from Evans all the way to the backstop. Both runners are going to advance. It's a wild pitch. Gamble over to 3rd. Henry to 2nd. 2 in scoring position with just 1 away. The other game going on in the ILB is the Sodbusters and the Spuds. Like mentioned, the Spuds had won over 20 games in a row. They've lost both of the last 2 to Hastings, and the Sodbusters currently lead that ball game 5-0 out in Casper. The Spuds do not have a hits through 3 innings. It's been all Hastings so far. Sasquatch could take advantage, but they do have to do their part, and that is win ball game in front of them. So we're about halfway through this one, and it's a 6-4 Bison lead, threatening for more in the top of the 5th. Another pitch missing well outside. An even count here on Jackson Takahashi. Takahashi flew out in the 2nd. He also had an RBI single in the 4th and scored a run in that frame. Full count. The 9th spot in the order, Joel Beaver, is due up next. Broken bat fouled off. There goes that bat. Takahashi will throw that to the side. We'll have to go get a new piece of wood here ahead of a 3-2. Argenziano, you'd think with that delivery, the pitch is inside, that two-seam action, you get a lot of broken bat balls. Seen a lot of broken bats from Aiden Torpy. Occasionally some from Jackson Peters as well. All side armors that Sasquatch have. A full count here on Takahashi. And he walked him. Bases loaded, 1 man out. After the solo home run by Aiden Hall that led off the inning. A couple hit by pitches and a walk, the bases loaded. Get a mound visit here. Talk things over with Argenziano. On the third base side, they'll converse as well. We already saw Beaver with a runner on have an infield RBI bunt single to the first base line. Sasquatch have to be wary of something similar here. But with Argenziano struggling with command, you don't want to give an out. It's got to be a well-placed bunt if Beaver is going to do it. The way he's been throwing, you figure they're probably take until they get a strike just about, unless they see something really good to hit like Aiden Hall did and are confident they can put it in play and hit it out. 6-4, Bison in front. Sasquatch trying to hang in there. Get through this frame with Andrew Argenziano on the mound. Got Cole Krieber beginning to throw in the Sasquatch pen. First pitch high to Beaver. Like mentioned, the last time up was the RBI bunt single along the first base line. He also reached on an error on a ground ball to Bowman. That was in the 2nd inning. He's been on base both times without having a ball leave the infields. Outfield playing shallow. 2-0. Don't want to walk him for sure. There's nowhere to put him. Bases loaded. And he got the top of the order coming up. Got to find a way to attack and find the strike zone here if you're Argenziano. He cannot. Misses again, 3-0. Finds it there. Gets back to a 3-1 count. Bases loaded, 1 man out. Argenziano's pitch. And he walked him. It's an RBI walk for Joel Beaver. Another run for Bison baseball. They don't need a hit. Couple hit by pitches, a couple walks. They score a run after the leadoff home run. So Beaver comes through with an RBI walk, his 2nd RBI of the game. Back to the top of the order we go, to Alex Everson. Pitch is up and away. 7-4 Bison in front. Gamble came in to score. Henry's at third, Takahashi's at second, Beavers at first, with Everson at the plate. Ball and a strike. Bison not swinging the bat here in this frame. Why would they? Take until they get a strike. And now they do have one. We'll see if Everson gets another strike and if he cuts it loose. That's at the top of the zone, strike 2. Mentioned Argenziano striking out over 1 per inning. Had 14 strikeouts in 12 innings entering today, so could strike a guy out every now and then. Trying to get one here for the second out of the inning. Instead, it's fouled away by Everson. Do it again here, 1-2. Everson's the 7th Bison to come to the plate in this frame. Walk, strikeout, and a flyout on the day for the center fielder. It's outside. Krieber continuing to throw in the bullpen. If Argenziano can't get Everson here, you wonder how long the leash will be from head coach Justice Scott, how long he'll keep Argenziano out there. 2-2. It's outside, full count. So this inning began with an Aiden Hall home run, the first batter Argenziano faced. Took him deep out to left field, and since that point, hit by pitch, fly out, walk, and walk. Bases are loaded, full count. Pitch to Everson, swing and a miss. It's a big strikeout there for Andrew Argenziano. Gives him an opportunity here to get an out and keep the bases stranded and limit the damage to just 2 in the frame. Came with a high fastball, probably was out of the zone and would have been ball 4, but gets Everson to chase. High fastball looks so tempting as a hitter, and Everson's down on strikes for a second time today. Good battle back from Argenziano. His first pitch to Nick Golden misses. Golden's day may be done on the mound as he pitched the bottom of the 4th inning, but with a quiet Bison bullpen, we could see him back out there for another frame. Hitting and pitching today for Bison. Trying to help himself out in a big way. The bases loaded and 2 outs, a ball and a strike. Golden sack bunted in the 1st inning. He flew out to right in the 3rd, and he drove in a run with an RBI single in the 4th inning. And then he was thrown out at second base. Fouls it off. And now Argenziano's 1 pitch away from getting out of this frame and keeping the bases loaded. They had the bases loaded with 1 man out. They already scored a run with the bases loaded. It was Beavers' RBI walk. But a big strikeout to Everson has Argenziano 1 strike away from getting through this. Here's 1-2. It's up and away. When Argenziano gets the 2 strikes, nothing comes easy. He got the 2 strikes to Everson, a 1-2 count, but a couple pitches out of the zone, forced a 3-2 pitch. See if he can get Golden without having to go to a full count. 2-2. And he hit him. Golden is hit by a pitch. David Henry comes in to score. It's now another run in this frame, all coming without the use of an out. And the leash will not extend any further for Andrew Argenziano. Head coach Justice Scott will make the call to the bullpen. Day is done for Argenziano. Cole Krieber is coming in. And an outing that Argenziano would like to forget. He departs with the Bison in front, 8-4.
Human Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine is everywhere you need us to be. On the sidelines to support our local athletes. At our clinic locations throughout the region. And at our Ortho Express walk-in clinic when you don't have time to make an appointment. We're here when you need us. Working as a team to make your comeback stronger than ever. Getting stronger. Getting better. getting you back to your best self. Monument Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, here for whatever moves you.
So surprising. So untamed. So much historical fame. So much to see, hear, smell, taste, enjoy. So pack your bags. Hit the road. Strike gold. Deadwood is waiting. There's so much South Dakota, so little time.
I wanna shout out to the world so they know my sweet baby loves me so. She got me going, yeah, she turns me on. And she loves me, yeah, she loves me, and it blows my mind.
Hey, nice strike.
Yeah, it blows my mind.
For error here, if you're Cole Krieber coming into the ball game, you got to take over with the bases loaded and 2 outs. We'll see if Krieber can work through this frame. Get a quick look at the numbers for him on the season before this at bat to Mason Daniels. You can see it there on screen, an ERA above 12. Another guy who's had some command issues this season. No room to have those issues right now. Got to throw nothing but strikes here. First pitch to Daniels was on the outside corner for strike 1. No balls and a strike. Daniels is the 9th guy to come to the plate in the frame. Bison has just 1 hit in this inning. It was Aiden Hall's solo home run. Blooped, shallow center field. Gonzalez going out. Green coming in. The diving play. It's off the glove of Ben Green, and it falls in for a hit. 2 runs coming to score. Golden over to third, and it's a 2-run bloop single for Mason Daniels. It's a 5 spot in the inning, and it is a 10-4 Bison lead. Sasquatch are going to have their work cut out for them today. Bison, they're playing a little bit better over those final 2 games against the Oahe Zapper in both of those ball games after being out of all 3 of them here in Spearfish. Today, they're not only in the ball game, but in a commanding position, up 10-4, with Aiden Hall up for a second time in the frame. They've officially batted around. Daniels drives in 2 with the RBI single, and we're back to where it all began. Aiden Hall has a chance to do something incredibly rare, hit 2 home runs in an inning. Of course, Cole Krieber, it's the last thing he's hoping happens here. Gets ahead with a pair of strikes. Hall has 2 hits on the day now. He singled back in the 3rd inning as well to go along with the home run. Calls time. So that hit from Daniels was just the 2nd in the inning. Those runs charged against Argenziano. So would be Nick Golden at 3rd base if he comes in to score. So all 5 runs are earned. See if Krieber can get out of this here. 0-2's inside. Evans throws down to 2nd base, and a great play by Bachman to stop that ball from going into center field. He even applied the tag as well. Daniels, I don't think, thought the throw was coming in. He didn't slide. Didn't matter, though, as he steals 2nd base, but a really nice play by Bachman. That ball could have easily gone into center field and brought home Golden. It was ball 1, so the count's 1-2. Pitch from Krieber is on the outside corner, and that's strike 3. Aiden Hall doesn't like it. Krieber ends the frame with a strikeout. 5 runs come in to score off of just 2 hits against Argenziano and Cole Krieber. And the Sasquatch, with work cut out, find themselves trailing 10-4.
Human Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine is everywhere you need us to be. On the sidelines to support our local athletes, at our clinic locations throughout the region, and at our Ortho Express walk-in clinic when you don't have time to make an appointment. We're here when you need us, working as a team to make your comeback stronger than ever. Getting stronger, getting better, getting you back to your best self. Monument Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, here for whatever moves you.
So surprising. So untamed. So much historical fame. So much to see, hear, smell, taste, enjoy. So pack your bags. Hit the road. Strike gold. Deadwood is waiting. There's so much South Dakota, so little time.
Good start for Nick Golden. His day is done after 4 innings. Won't be able to get a win today, but pitched very well. 4 innings, he gave up 4 runs, but only one of them was earned. Struck out 3, allowed 5 hits, walked 2 on 73 pitches. And Bison baseball goes to the bullpen. Talon Field takes over. So he'll try to work through the middle part of this game for Bison baseball. Entering today, he's pitched in 2 games so far as a pitcher. He's allowed 9 runs, 5 of them earned across 3 innings. Bachman looks at ball 1. A 10-4 lead may seem like a lot for the Sasquatch, but at the same time, they put up 20 runs twice against this team, so not out of the realm of possibility for them to string across some hits, and this is the guy you want to lead off. And Ryan Bachman. Field came in and pitched against the Sasquatch on the 8th, July 8th. He pitched 2 1/3 innings, and he gave up 7 runs, 4 of them earned. That's the last time he was on the mounds against this same team. 2 balls and a strike to count to Bachman. 4, 5, 6 in the order. It's Bachman, Marcial, and Wallette trying to help out this pitching staff. Just had a tough go of things through 5 innings, 10 runs. Bit uncharacteristic of what we've seen from the Sasquatch this season. Obviously, the offense has been really the biggest strength of the Sasquatch team. They haven't stolen a lot of bases, but they get a lot of hits. They hit for power, just a lot of runs on the board. Bachman works a walk. Heading into today, though, starter ERA was 4.27, and their bullpen ERA was 6.01. So as a team, a 5.23 ERA, but the bullpen ERA higher than that of the starters, and you're seeing that here today. It's the bullpen coming into the game and struggling, and that really goes back to the point that I mentioned earlier. When the Sasquatch starting pitchers go 5 innings, they've only lost twice. Outside of that, 11 and 11. So other teams want to get into the Sasquatch bullpen early. That's a recipe for success, whereas the Sasquatch want to save their bullpen guys. A few arms in the back end of the bullpen that they really trust. Not have to go to those guys early on in the ball game as Marcial falls behind 0-2. And so Bison baseball was able to do that today. They've put themselves in a good position because of that. And so Field looking for a shutdown inning. Checks in on Bachman. Marcial's 1 for 2 today. He singled and scored a run in the second inning, and he flew out to left in the third. The 0-2 pitch is just off the edge. We've seen both teams have some disagreements with home plate umpire Zachary Nelson today. Aiden Hall didn't like the strikeout call to end the last half inning, and Marcial didn't seem to like a few of the strikes in this at-bat. Just grounded to second, maybe a chance to turn two. It's bobbled at second base. They flip to the bag, and they do get Bachman. Good recovery there by Beaver, and Hall on the bag at second, able to make the play. It'll be a fielder's choice for Marcial. It was going to be tough to turn two either way. Marcial has speed. So they do get one at second base, first out of the inning, and Sasquatch will still have one aboard with Micah Wallette. Wallette reached on an error in the second inning. He blooped a ball to left field. It was off of the glove of Aiden Hall. It really could have gone either way, error or hits. Really tough play for Hall to make, and as a result of it being an error, it was only one earned run on the day for Golden, as Sasquatch would end up scoring two that frame. Both of those would be unearned. Fouled off. Saw the numbers as well on screen before that pitch for Wallette this season. He's been hotter over his last 6 games, batting over 300 over that span. On base 1 of 2 times today, the error, and then he also flew out in the 4th. It's at the top of the zone for a strike. Fans trying to cheer on the Sasquatch here. It's a good crowd here at the ballpark. It's the sign setting along the first base line as we get past 8 o'clock here local time. 2-2 on Wallette. This is a big inning here for the Sasquatch. You've got the middle to bottom part of your order. You just gave up 5 runs in the top half of the frame, and you don't want to let this spiral into some negative momentum. Want to try to get something back in this half inning so that you can carry the momentum into the 6th. Hope that Cole Krieber can deliver a shutdown top of the 6th inning, and then you just continue from there. So this is a big frame for Spearfish, in my opinion, to see if they can get back in this ball game. Full count to Wallette. He stays alive to foul it off. Mentioned as well when Wallette came up earlier that 25% of his at-bats go 6 or more pitches. Add this one to the list of at-bats this season. He sees a lot of pitches, a .387 batting average to go along with the a .387 on base percentage. Popped up to second base, and it's right at Joel Beaver. So 2 outs in the inning. Brings up Chase Scott. Scott, the son of head coach Justice Scott. Cuts and misses there. He's gotten an opportunity to play in this series against Bison. Didn't play before this, and not sure if we'll see him much after this series, but getting a chance to swing the bat, play some first base and DH in this total of a 5-game series for the Sasquatch side of things. It was broken up with a couple games in Oahe for Bison, but for Spearfish, they've seen this team all week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and they'll see them again tomorrow. CO2, just outside. Yeah. 1-2. Grounded right back at field. It goes off of him, and it's fielded at second base by Beaver. He steps on the bag. That ends the inning. So the Sasquatch do not score in the bottom of the 5th inning. A frame that was entirely in the favor of Bison baseball. And after 5 innings of play, Bison lead this one 10-4.
Shout out to the world so they know my sweet baby loves me so. She got me going, yeah, she turns me on. She loves me, yeah, she loves me, and it blows my mind.
Hey, Hey, nice strike.
Yeah, it blows my mind. She's my lover.
New games every month at the Lodge. We are constantly updating our gaming floor with the latest fun games to keep our guests entertained with new games every month. For the freshest selection of slot machines in town, make the Lodge at Deadwood your gaming destination. The locals' choice for gaming excitement with the newest games is the Lodge at Deadwood Gaming Resort. Home for the newest games is at the Lodge at Deadwood Gaming Resort. When you're looking for the latest and greatest games, the Lodge is the place for you, as we are constantly updating our gaming floor with new and exciting games. There's always something fresh and fun at the Lodge at Deadwood Gaming Resort, your home for the newest games.
Grieber's first pitch is swung on and missed to Bryce Gamble. That's how the top of the 6th inning begins. Grieber back out there. Expect him to try to work through at least one more frame for the Sasquatch here today. 5, 6, 7 in the order: Gamble, Henry, and King. Off-speed pitch, that's cut on and missed. So the count 0-2 on Gamble. He did go down on strikes. That was in the 3rd inning. Outside of that, he got a 2 RBI single in the 1st, and he was hit by a pitch from Argenziano and came around to score in that 5-run 5th inning for Bison. 0-2. It's upstairs. 5 runs on 2 hits in that 5th inning. So they really took advantage of Argenziano being wild in the frame. Gamble just gets a piece of that to stay alive. Gamble entering today, he had 3 hits in 18 at-bats, and he's played in all 9 games now for Bison. So he entered today 3 for 18. He's got a hit in 2 official at-bats, 3 plate appearances. And that fastball caught him on the hands. Yikes, that is a tough place to get hit by a pitch. Right on the top of that front hand. He's going to shake that one off. We'll hope he's okay. Fastballs on the back and on the side, you can deal with that and usually shake those off. A bruise in the morning, but fastball to the hands, we hope he's okay. Looks like he is. It's the fastball. A hit by pitch is how the top of the 6th inning begins. Gamble will walk over to first base, and leadoff runner is aboard for Bison baseball. This is now the top of the 6th inning. The leadoff runner has reached in 4 of 6 frames for Bison baseball, if you count the home run by Aiden Hall as the leadoff runner reaching. David Henry, the left fielder, 6th guy in the order. Looks at a pitch in the dirt. 2 balls and no strikes. Grieber talked about it briefly when he came into the game. Didn't have a whole lot of time to talk about it as the bases were loaded with 2 outs. Had to just get right to the action, but Grieber entering today, 12 2/3 innings pitched. He's allowed 18 runs and 17 of them earned, and 19 walks in 12 2/3 innings as well. He's a guy who's struggled with command as well. In addition to Argenziano, you saw it there with the hit by pitch to Gamble. And now he's losing the zone here to Henry. Still a lot of ball game left to go here for head coach Justice Scott, and See how he decides to navigate it. So that's in their first strike. Got to trust that the offense is going to come back and make this close at some point. 4 runs is uncharacteristic of the Sasquatch offense. Saw a good Hastings pitching staff quiet them in that series. But outside of that, they've been a team that's, I mean, entering today, the best batting average as a team in the ILB. But even the best teams in the ILB, like you saw with the Casper Spuds, they'll fall in some ball games, and any team can win on any given day. Sasquatch hoping that this is not the day that Bison baseball captures their first win of the summer. After 3-0, we're 3-2, and this is fouled over top our heads. It's been a good day for Henry so far. He popped out in the first inning, but after that, a walk in the fourth and a hit by pitch in the 5th inning. So the last 2 at-bats, he's reached base and came around to score a run both times. Krieber, quick step off and a close play at first. They almost got him there. Jay Scott dropped the ball as Gamble slid back in headfirst safely. He catches that baseball. That's a real tough play. Over at first. Krieber, a good step off. Gamble does have a solid lead over there at first, ahead of a 3-2. He goes, and the pitch is fouled once again, in on the hands and right over top of us. Beautiful sunset over on the first base side. What was above 90 degrees all day long, finally getting down into the 80s. Good battle here at the dish by Henry. See if Gamble decides to go again here on a full count pitch. He does not. And the pitch is high. Hit by pitch and a walk to begin the inning. Not a great sign for the Sasquatch here in the 6th inning. And 2 on, nobody out. And here comes Ethan Kang. Kang's hit a couple balls to the opposite field, a couple flyouts to right field to go along with a single to left. That single came in the 4th inning, part of a 3-run frame for Bison. They scored 3 runs on 3 hits in that inning, and Kang was one of those, both a hit and a run. Krieber looking for a double play here. Bowman even with the bag over at third, so a ground ball to that side. Maybe Bowman steps on the bag at third and throws to first for 2. Instead, it's lined into center field. Green plays it on 2 hops. They're going to hold Gamble over at third, and the bases are loaded with nobody out here in the 6th inning. So now the bottom part of the order, Jackson Takahashi, the 8th hitter, with an opportunity to really blow this game open here for Bison baseball. I mean, there's still time and a great Sasquatch offense, but another big inning here for Bison, and things start to look a little bit nerve-wracking if you're the Sasquatch. This is spiked. Nobody's going to try to move up. Smart decision there if you're Bison, really not trying to make the first out of the inning at home. It's the last thing you're trying to do in a situation like this. Julio Romero has begun loosening a bit in the Sasquatch bullpen. He's yet to start throwing, but he's got a ball in his hand and presumably will begin throwing momentarily. Krieber with nobody out in this inning. Bases loaded on just 1 hit. Drops in a strike. 1-1 on Takahashi. Takahashi flew out in the 2nd inning. He had an RBI single that was in the 4th, and then he walked in the 5th. He scored 2 runs today. Out in front, 1-2. That's a nice looking pitch there from Krieber. It's a strike until it tailed away there from Takahashi. Takahashi was just 1 for 9 on the season entering today, but he does have a hit. Swing and a miss. It's a big strikeout there. Takahashi's down on strikes. Cole Krieber picks up the first strikeout of this inning, the second strikeout for him since coming into the ball game. And he's going to keep the bases loaded here. To the ninth spot, Joel Beaver. Beaver swings and misses, and talked about in the bottom of the fifth inning, if the Sasquatch could put up some runs, it seemed like an inning where if they didn't, Bison would have the momentum. They certainly still do with the bases loaded, but a shutdown inning here from Krieber. If he can get out of this without allowing a run, maybe the momentum tips back in the Sasquatch favor. Swing and a miss, 0-2 on Beaver. Well, that's the pitch right there from Krieber. It's working over these last two batters. Looks like maybe a cutter or slider. Starts over the middle part of the plate and then just tails away from these righties. See if he tries it again here, 0-2, maybe pushes it a little further off the edge. Outfield playing very shallow. I mean, this is a very, very shallow defense here in the outfield. They're trying to get a fly ball and cut the runner out at the plate. It's Gamble at third, the catcher, who doesn't have a lot of speed. You get a look at the outfield there from our camera up here. Gamble at third, Henry at second, and Ethan Kang at first. 0-2 pitch. It's fouled straight back. Beaver just got a piece of that fastball, was late on it, but he almost took it out of Brinkley Evans' glove behind the plates. Crowd trying to get into it. Conversation here. I mean, they could be arguing catcher's interference. He almost did take that ball out of Brinkley Evans' glove. That's about the only thing I could think of that they'd be talking about, but you'd imagine that Beaver would have instantly said something. He didn't, so if the home plate umpire, Zachary Nelson, didn't see it, I don't know if Chris Leathers out in the field would have seen it. Could be talking about something completely different, but my assumption is that they're talking about catcher's interference, but I doubt that this gets overturned in any way. They're going to say there was no something. We don't have microphones here in the ILB to hear what the challenge is or hear what the conversation's about, but it's the best of my assumption in a situation like that. So the count's 0-2 on Beaver. No runs in this half inning. The bases were loaded with nobody out before a strikeout to Takahashi. Krieber looking for a second strikeout here. See if he can pick one up on Beaver. 0-2. And he does. Big pitching from Cole Krieber. Back-to-back strikeouts with the bases loaded. And a chance for him to get out of this unscathed as we go back to the top of the lineup. And Alex Everson. This is a half inning where Bison looked like they could blow this game open. Steal this one from the Sasquatch. Take all the momentum and run away with it. But Krieber trying to make sure that doesn't happen. His first pitch to Everson is inside ball one. The inning began with a hit by pitch, a walk, and then a single by Ethan Kang. Back-to-back strikeouts, both of them swinging. Now it's Alex Everson who's been set down on strikes twice today. Count is 1-0 on the leadoff hitter. Chopped foul. Everson, a walk in the first inning. Other than that, he's been set down all three times after that. 2 strikeouts and a flyout. Everson's coming into the ball game, has recorded 3 outs, and all of them have been strikeouts. His last out in the 5th inning came in for Argenziano, and 2 in this frame. 1-2 on Everson. One ball, 2 strikes, bases loaded. Bison in front, 10-4. Cole Krieber trying to strand the bases loaded. His pitch is in the dirt, gets away from Evans, and Gamble's going to come in to score. Oh, so close to getting out of it without a run. But a wild pitch brings home Bryce Gamble. Everybody else moves up as well. And Bison will at least bring home 1 as Gamble comes in to score, and that's an 11-4 Bison lead. Still a chance to limit the damage, though. All things considered, this looked like it was going to be a crooked number. If you could just keep it to 1, trust the Sasquatch offense will do their part and get back in this ball game. There's still a ways to go. Haven't even hit yet in this 6th inning. Count is now 2-2 on Everson. The pitch. Chopped, second base side. Bachman, a high hop, has to hurry, and he gets it to first in time. And that will end the inning. So the bases were loaded with nobody out. A wild pitch does bring home a run, but only one in the frame. Bison will carry an 11-4 lead when we head to the bottom of the 6th.
So surprising. So untamed. So much historical fame. So much to see, hear, smell, taste, enjoy. So pack your bags. Hit the road. Strike gold. Deadwood is waiting. There's so much South Dakota, so little time.
My favorite thing about Macero's, it's the staff. The culture is unlike anything I've ever experienced.
Spot On has greatly reduced the time our managers spend on scheduling. The biggest advantage is its tip management. At a touch of a button, it instantly allocates tip pooling and tip splitting.
Our employees love it that as soon as we've done the tip distribution, they can see what they made yesterday. It's real straightforward. What you see is what you get, and that's what you want working in a restaurant. And with Spot On, you've got everything there at the tip of your fingers.
Before this half inning kicks off, let's take a look around the ILB briefly. What's going on out? The other 2 games going on in action, the Fremont Moo and Nebraska Prospects. That game is 4-0 Prospects in the bottom of the 8th. Cooper Katsky, 7 innings of shutout ball, 91 pitches. He shut down the Moo out of the ball game. They go to the bullpen. JT Roy in for the 8th. 8 strikeouts for Katsky, shutting down the Moo in a game the Prospects look like they're going to win out in Fremont. Syme first pitch swinging into right field. Back on it goes Daniels. 1 pitch, 1 out. Here in the bottom of the 6th. The other game going on is the Casper Spuds against the Hastings Sodbusters, and I'll hold off from any major update as that game is 6-3 Hastings, but the bases are loaded with 1 out. So a big opportunity for Casper to get back into the ball game and see if the Spuds can do it in front of their home fans, snap a 2-game losing streak. Keep you updated with both of those games as this one progresses. It's 8-9-1 in the order. Syme led off the inning, first pitch fly out, and now the Sasquatch will go to the bench for Nolan Ackerman. This was the catching spot in Brinkley Evans, due up 9th. Instead, they'll bring in Ackerman, who will stay in the ballgame, presumably to catch. Looks at strike 1. Ackerman's put together an amazing summer so far with the Sasquatch in year number 2 here in Spearfish. Grounded foul. This is now his 9th game played, albeit coming in as a pinch hitter. In the 8 games before this, 13 for 28, 464 batting average. OPS 1.298. He's also hit 2 home runs, driven in 14, and he's been one of their best defensive catchers as well. The 0-2 misses. Field trying to work through another inning here, the 6th inning. We'll probably see him out there for a few more after this. He's got the ability to go multiple frames. Came in for the 5th inning. Didn't allow a hit in that inning against the Sasquatch. This is in on the hands, grounded weakly to Beaver at second base. Some spin on it, but Beaver makes the play with plenty of time. Ackerman is thrown out at first. 2 up and 2 down. And now it's back to Matthew Gonzalez, the shortstop and leadoff hitter for the Sasquatch, who continues to turn his season around after a slow start. He's reached base all 3 times today. His only at-bat was a single in the second inning. The other 2 plate appearances, a hit by pitch and a walk. This one nearly hits his knees, scoots out of the way. Ball and no strikes. Looking at both of these 2 teams today, neither pitching side has had a 1-2-3 inning until maybe now. Ground ball to third, long throw across the diamond. It's dug out at first base by Jackson Takahashi. Ethan Kang makes the play at third, and Takahashi, a really nice play over at first. And so for the first time today, a 1-2-3 inning done so quickly by Talon Fields. And as we head to the 7th inning, Bison still in front, 11-4.
Health, orthopedics, and sports medicine is everywhere you need us to be. On the sidelines to support our local athletes, at our clinic locations throughout the region, and at our Ortho Express walk-in clinic when you don't have time to make an appointment. We're here when you need us, working as a team to make your comeback stronger than ever. Getting stronger, getting better, getting you back to your best self. Monument Health, Orthopedics, and Sports Medicine, here for whatever moves you.
When you venture to Spearfish in the Black Hills of South Dakota, you'll find rugged hiking and biking trails, extreme rock climbs, and views that will take your breath away. Plan a Spearfish vacation and come find your adventure. Spearfish, my great place in South Dakota.
Top of the 7th inning for the Bison Baseball Club is number 9, and Nick Golden.
Nick Golden leads things off here in the top of the 7th inning. Oh, we got a Squatch Dog Challenge going on today. How about that? That's 2 straight games with a Squatch Dog Challenge. Give him the best of luck over on the first base side. I think this is the 3rd time we've had the Squatch Dog Challenge this season. The first time all year we had a guy named Dart do it, and it was the first time ever that the Squatch Dog Challenge had been completed. And Dart did it as the first attempt of the season. And then we had Ben Tate's brother do it a couple nights ago on Wednesday. And he was unsuccessful. See what happens today. Golden into shallow center field. That's going to drop in front of Ben Green. So Golden has a leadoff single to begin the top of the 7th inning. Another inning where the leadoff runner is aboard for Bison baseball. It's becoming a theme today. 5 out of 7 innings. They're getting the leadoff guy on. And in all 4 of the previous cases, the leadoff guy came home to score. See if Krieger can change that script here and not allow Golden to come in. Check in on him at first. Mason Daniels up now. We're at the 3rd spot in the order, so the middle part of this Bison lineup. Daniels followed by Aiden Hall and then Bryce Gamble. Krieger still out there. Julio Romero has begun loosening in the bullpen. He's stopped throwing now. J.J. Neal may be joining him. Throw over to first, and Golden slides in head first. Runner goes, pitch is high, throw from Ackerman, that gets into center fields. And Golden swipes seconds. Ackerman had been one of the Sasquatch's better defensive catchers. Heading into today, runners were 12 of 15 against him. They're now 13 of 16. Ackerman remaining in the game after pinch hitting for Brinkley Evans.
Remember to take your golf ball to the concession stand and get a Squatch Buck. Brought to you by State Farm agent Jody Garcia. And get out those rent tickets for our 50-50 drawing.
1-2. That's way upstairs. That's going to allow Golden to go over to third. A wild pitch. Moves Golden up 90 feet, and so perhaps for a fifth straight inning, the leadoff man will not only get on, but also come in to score. 11 runs for Bison baseball. They scored 3 in the fourth, 5 in the fifth, and 1 in the sixth. And down on strikes goes Mason Daniels for the first out of the inning. And Cole Krieber has strikeout number 4 on the day. He's gotten 5 outs, and 4 of them have come on the strikeout. So here's Aiden Hall. This was the first man that Cole Krieber did get out. Struck him out to finish off the 5th inning. A frame where Bison batted around. Right side of the infield is in for the Sasquatch. The left side is not. Ryan Bachman and Chase Scott have their toes on the grass. Counts 1-1. Gonzalez over at shortstop's remaining back. And now he's going to creep in a little bit. Jordan Bowman is even with the bag over at third. Ryan Bachman and Gonzalez seemed to talk there, and he said, nope, you're fine where you are. This pitch is outside, 2-1. Sasquatch went down quietly in the bottom of the 6th inning, 3 up, 3 down. See if Bison baseball can continue their offensive onslaught here today. 3-1. Aiden Hall hit a home run back in the 5th inning. That led off. Kicked off the first of 5 runs in the inning. Hall has 2 hits today. And now he's on base for a 3rd time as he walks to put runners on the corners with 1 out. Now we'll see what the defense does here for the Sasquatch. Looks like the middle infield's going to back off in double play depth. Bachman will assume a double play position there at second base. Gonzalez will do the same at short. And now Krieber, see if he can induce the double play with Bryce Gamble, the catcher, who's been on base 3 out of 4 times. 2-run single, strikeout to go along with 2 hit by pitches. 2 RBIs and 2 runs scored. Ball 1. Hall bluffed the steal over there at first base, and Bison base runners haven't been thrown out yet today. New catcher in the ball game, but they've continued to be aggressive on the base paths. We'll see if at some point Hall decides to try for seconds. Break up the double play. Krieber catches the zone on 1-0. One and one on Gamble. Hall does go. No, he doesn't. He shut it down about halfway through. Gamble takes low, ball 2. Hall got a pretty decent jump on that pitch, and I'm not sure Ackerman was going to throw through to second base. Although that's what the Sasquatch have been doing. Not only for today, but for it seems like most of the year. They usually do seem to throw down to second base in those kinds of situations. So the count 3-1 on Gamble. David Henry on deck. Bison threatening to load him up. You're in the 7th inning. Lined. Bachman makes the catch. He'll have no play at first or third, but that's a big second out and a perfectly positioned Ryan Bachman over at second base, able to steal a base hit from Bryce Gamble. A line out is the second out of the inning, and here we go again. Another opportunity for Sasquatch pitching to work out of a jam without giving up a lot of runs. First and third with one away. They get a big second out, and now it's up to Cole Kraber to retire David Henry. Wiggle out of this jam. Catches the outside corner there for strike one. Outside corner has been generous all game long, but it's been consistent and for both teams, so can't complain. Henry's reached base each of his last 3 times without having to put the ball in play. 2 walks and a hit by pitch. Swings and misses on a fastball high. Now it's 0-2. What could be Cole Kraber's last inning out of the bullpen, trying to put up a 0, the first 0 by Sasquatch pitching since the 3rd. 0-2 pitch. It's fouled away by Henry. Hall was going on the pitch as well. Looking ahead to the bottom of the 7th inning, the Sasquatch will have 2, 3, 4 in the order, trying to mount a rally. Guys you want up, but first you need a 0 on the board to give the guys some momentum. 0-2 pitch, Hall goes again, and again, it's fouled away.
Remember to take your foul ball to the concession stand and get a Squatch Buck. Brought to you by State Farm agent Jody Garcia.
This will be pitch number 55 for Cole Kraber. Trying to work through 2 and a third. 0-2 on Henry, the pitch. Got him looking. Kraber strikes out David Henry. It's his 5th strikeout out of the bullpen. Finally a 0 on the board for Sasquatch pitching. And now we head to the 7th inning stretch, and hopefully a brand new Sasquatch offense will take the field in the bottom of the 7th when we come back.
Human Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine is everywhere you need us to be. On the sidelines to support our local athletes, at our clinic locations throughout the region, and at our Ortho Express walk-in clinic when you don't have time to make an appointment. We're here when you need us, working as a team to make your comeback stronger than ever. Getting stronger, getting better, getting you back to your best self. Monument Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, here for whatever moves you.
Big inning here for the Sasquatch as we get set for the bottom of the 7th inning. Only 9 more outs for Spearfish offensively to go. They got 2, 3, 4 in the order. Ben Green, Jordan Bowman, and Ryan Bachman looking to finally figure out Talon Fields, who's been tough out of the bullpen for Bison baseball. 2 innings pitched. He's walked 1, and that's the only base runner Sasquatch have been able to generate against Field. In the 5th inning, that was when the walk and a fielder's choice, Sasquatch were able to get to him there, but in the 6th, set down the Sasquatch in order. The only time either side has had a 1-2-3 inning. Green taking the whole way, looks at strike 1. Green's been quiet today. 0 for 3, he did reach on an error. It's on the corner, 0-2. Look at this middle part of the order in general for the Sasquatch. Ryan Bachman has the only hit between Green, Bowman, and Bachman today. Green behind, 0-2. Pitch from Field. Just off the outside corner. Ball 1, but the way the outside corner's been today, Green gets away with that take. 1-2. Chopped, weakly first base side. That did get a piece of Green's front foot. He'll shake that off. Sounded like it might have broken the bat as well. Let's take a look at what's going on over on the first base line with a Squatch Dog Challenge. Let's see if I can see what's happening here. How many hot dogs are left? I'm not sure if I see any hot dogs left. I see a lot of nachos left, though. Got to get through 5 Squatch Dogs. Looks like there's 1 left. Got to get through 5 Squatch Dogs, which are a quarter pounder each. Yeah, I see that one is still sitting there. Got to get through 5 Squatch Dogs, which are not only just hot dogs, but got a lot left. They got a lot of other things on them as well. And then you got the bowl of nachos. And then you get a little cup of ice cream. Got to get through after that. And you've got from this point till the end of the ball game, whether that's the 9th or extras. Green into right field. That's going to get through for a base hit. A single leads off the 7th inning, and that is the first Sasquatch hit since the 4th inning. Since Nolan Ackerman, or pardon me, since Brinkley Evans base hit in the 4th inning. And Green leads off the frame. And hopefully a sign of the Sasquatch offense heating up down the stretch of this ball game. We'll see if they can come through and close the gap. 7-run ball game, Bison in front, but 11 runs is where we've seen the Sasquatch many times this year. It's not insurmountable by any means. And that hit by Green is just the 6th of the ball game for the Sasquatch. Ball 1 to Bowman. 11 runs on 10 hits and 2 errors for Bison. 4 runs on 6 hits and 1 error for the Sasquatch. Green a big secondary leadoff of first base as Bowman looks at ball 2. Don't expect to see Green running here in this kind of situation. He does have 6 stolen bases on 8 attempts. He's got some speed, but in a ball game like this, they need base runners. It's on the outside corner. Strike 1 to Jordan Bowman. Bowman recently hit his 3rd home run of the season just a couple nights ago. Out to left center field. Tied him for the team lead as we get another look at what's happening there on the Squatch Dog Challenge. We'll keep you updated on the progress over there. I thought I overheard his name, but I don't want to say his name wrong on air, so I'm not gonna say his name. Hopefully we'll get you a name so that we can properly identify our Squatch Dog participant today. 2-2. Check swing and no, just off the edge. It's a full count here on Bowman. Got Ryan Bachman waiting on deck. Bowman looking to get on base for the first time today. He will not. It's a fastball off the outside corner. Bowman's got to be careful here. Obviously frustration for both of these teams. That outside corner has been called a little bit off the edge, but it has been consistent. And that pitch was probably not a strike, but with the way it's been called today, Jordan Bowman takes his chances, and it winds up as strike 3. Bowman is down on strikes for a 2nd time today. And a good first out of the inning for Field. As Ryan Bachman looks at a first pitch high. What could have been 1st and 2nd, nobody out. Instead, runner at first with 1 out. Here is Bachman. Extended the hitting streak to 19 games and the on-base streak. A double and a walk to go along with a pop out today. On base now each of his 29 games played this season. Two-0 is on the outside corner, strike one. 393 batting average as well with a hit today. Chance he gets back over 400 after today's game. Looks at strike two, good change of speed from Field. Catches Bachman off balance here. Runner at first with one away. Sasquatch trying to come back in this ball game. Upstairs, full counts. Javier Marcial is next for Spearfish. Here comes the 3-2. That's high. Ryan Bachman draws a walk. His second walk of the game, on base for a third time. Green over at second, and Sasquatch trying to threaten and put this into a crooked number in this bottom of the seventh inning column. Got runners on first and second with just one man out, and Javier Marcial. Marcial's been a little bit quiet here in the month of July. Got a base hit today to go along with a fly out and a fielder's choice. He's 1 for 3 on the day, making him 4 for 19 in the month of June so far. It's a strike to Marcial. Looked like that could have been a little bit low. Oh, 1. It's just off the edge. Marcial trying to come up with a big hit here. Second baseman Beaver, a little bit shaded towards the bag. Over at second base, leaving a bit of a hole in the right side of the infield if Marcial goes the opposite way. He's got power to the pull side as well, though. He's hit 2 home runs this season. 2-1. Chopped, shortstop side. Go to second, they get Bachman for 1. Marcial will reach at first. Another fielder's choice. That was a good job there as well by Ben Green. He screens the shortstop Aiden Hall. Tried to make it so that he couldn't see that ball and maybe a chance he would boot it. Instead, they do get the fielder's choice. 2 outs, runners on the corners, and Seth Nelson will get a pinch hit at bat here. If they're going to keep him in the ball game, they're going to have to find a way to change around the infields. So you look at what Nelson's done this season. This is why he's off the bench in a spot like this. 361 batting average, OPS above 1, 1.008. He's got a home run, 20 RBIs, 24 runs scored, and he's batting over 300, 323 with runners in scoring position. Could use a big hit out of Nelson here. Pinch hitting for Micah Wallett. The next spot in the order is Chase Scott, and there's nobody standing on deck. You imagine we see a pinch hitter for Scott. A couple guys they could go to in a spot like this. Patrick Rakes, Ben Tate. Seth Nelson cuts through that pitch. If they're going to keep Nelson in the ball game and pinch hit for Scott, then either of those guys, Nelson or Tate, could stay in the game and play left field. They could swap the positions. 1-1 line to left center field. That's going to get down for a base hit and split the outfielders. Green will score. Marcial hustling for third. He rounds it, and he's coming home. There will be no throw to the plate. That's a pinch hit. 2-run double for Seth Nelson, and the Sasquatch inch a little bit closer. It's now 11-6. Couple RBIs there for Nelson in a big spot. He comes through. And the Sasquatch get to Talon Field a little bit here in the 7th inning. They cut the deficit to just 5. And it will be one of those aforementioned guys it'll be Ben Tate who comes in to pinch hit here for Chase Scott. So head coach Justice Scott, obviously this is a game the Sasquatch not only want to win, but really need to win. Got to take advantage of these games against weaker opponents. You can't write off any opponent, but Casper Spuds and Fremont Moo objectively are better teams, have been this whole season. They have a larger roster, and those are the teams that you expect are going to give you tough ball games. But in a game like this is a game the Sasquatch would love to steal. Tate looks at ball one, crowd getting into it. Saw the numbers as well as Tate was walking up to the plate. 268 batting average for Ben Tate on the season to go along with a 388 on base percentage. Grounded, left side, gonna be a tough play. Aiden Hall goes off his glove and into the outfield. Seth Nelson scores easily. Tate is hustling for second base. The throw gets away into right field. Tate's gonna keep on running. He's shaken up, rounding second and headed for third. Hobbles over to third base. As he was shaken up on the slide, he slides in safely at third base, and the Sasquatch get another run back, 11-7. But of course, now the concern shifts over to Ben Tate, who continues to hobble in shallow left field. Mound visit here on the mound as well for Bison baseball. As Tate shaken up on the third base line, we'll hope he can stay into the ball game. It's a big hit there for Tate. I think it's going to go down as an error. It will. It's going to be an error on Aiden Hall. And Tate came all the way over to third base as a result of it. Head coach Justice Scott will now talk with Ben Tate and try to gauge whether he can or cannot stay into this ballgame. That's a quick conversation. Either Tate convinced him or head coach Justice Scott didn't need much convincing. So Tate will stay into the ballgame. He'll be at third base, with the Sasquatch now trailing by just 4. All of this with 2 outs as well. Nelson's pinch hit 2-run double. And Ben Tate's, well, actually it will go down as a single, so take that back. It's a single and then the error on the throw. So that is an RBI for Ben Tate. The RBI single, he advances to third on an error, and now it's Lane Syme. Syme looks at a pitch in the dirt. Tate's going to come home from third base, and he'll hobble to the plate. The ball got away far enough for even a hobbled Ben Tate to come in to score. A wild pitch, and Tate comes in. And a big bottom of the 7th inning. They put up 4 runs, and it is only a 3-run ball game. Base is empty now with 2 away for Lane Syme. Syme fouls this pitch straight back. Two balls and a strike on Syme. 4 runs in the inning, 3 hits. All of them off of Talon Field. And after being quiet since the 4th inning, back-to-back zeros by Bison pitching. Now the Sasquatch offense wakes up in the bottom of the 7th inning, threatening to continue a 2-out rally here as Syme is ahead in the count, 3 balls and a strike with Nolan Ackerman on deck. Ripped into left field. Diving is Henry. It goes off his glove and falls for a base hit. Syme over at first base. A 2-out single on what was almost a really nice defensive play in left field by David Henry. He can't come up with the catch, and Syme reaches. Brings up Nolan Ackerman with the tying run on deck. saw Bison baseball give the Oahe Zap a run for their money in the final game of that series. The Zap jumped out to a decent lead. They were winning 8-3 before the Zap put up 5 runs in the bottom of the 8th inning. And the Zap would ultimately come back to win that ball game. In 10, they'd win it 10-9 on a walk-off. Sasquatch hoping that they can do something similar. Come from behind, find a way to steal this ball game here today, where they trailed for most of it. Ackerman through the left side. There's a base hit. Another hit for the Sasquatch with 2 outs in the inning. Ackerman comes through, Syme to second base. The tying run comes to the plate in the half inning with Matthew Gonzalez, the leadoff hitter, and the 9th guy to come to the plate in the inning. Javier Marcial reached on a fielder's choice. That was the 2nd out of the inning. Since that point, Seth Nelson's 2-run RBI double, Ben Tate's RBI single, Lane Syme a single, and Nolan Ackerman a single. 4 straight hits with 2 away in the inning. Open for more as Matthew Gonzalez bats here with 2 outs. Fouls the first pitch off, 1st and 2nd. Tying run at the plate, 11-8, Bison in front. The Sasquatch have now tied Bison in the hit column with 10 in the ball game, 5 in the inning. Looped left field, long run for Henry. He's gonna get there. Just inside the line, a running catch in left field by David Henry. And the Sasquatch bring home 9 in the inning, but they score 4 in the process. And as we head to the 8th inning, it's only a 3-run ball game. Bison 11, Sasquatch 8.
Home for the newest games is at the Lodge at Deadwood Gaming Resort. When you're looking for the latest and greatest games, the Lodge is the place for you, as we are constantly updating our gaming floor with new and exciting games. There's always something fresh and fun at the Lodge at Deadwood Gaming Resort. Your home for the newest games.
So surprising. So untamed. So much historical fame. So much to see, hear, smell, taste, enjoy. So pack your bags. Hit the road. Strike gold. Deadwood is waiting. There's so much South Dakota, so little time.
So Cole Krieber does his job out of the bullpen, goes 2 1/3 innings pitched, allows 1 of his own runs. It was earned, strikes out 5 though, in some good pitching, gives up 3 hits and walks 2 in 2 1/3 innings pitched. And now turn it over to Julio Romero. You look at the numbers for him on screen, 9 2/3 innings pitched, an 8.38 ERA, a 2.07 whip. He does have 8 strikeouts in 9 2/3, but also another guy who's given away his free passes. He's walked 7 in 9 2/3 entering today. See if he can limit the walks and get some outs here at the top of the 8th inning. Desperately needing to put up a 0. Pumps in strike 1 to Ethan King. This is the bottom third of the order. King, Takahashi, and Beaver 7, 8, 9. This is almost a must 0 for Sasquatch pitching. You just scored 4 in the 8th, and now it's a 3-run ball game. Got to keep it where it's at, with the top of the order coming up to lead off the home half of the 8th. King's got a couple hits today to go along with a couple flyouts to right field, so he's 2 for 4. Scored a run in the 4th. 0-2, popped up on the infield. Gonzalez makes the catch at shortstop. Without a chance to introduce you to the defense a little bit, Seth Nelson remains in the game. He's playing first base. Ben Tate remains in the game as well. He plays third, and Jordan Bowman moves from third to left. So those are the defensive changes for the Sasquatch. Both pinch hitters, Nelson and Tate, remain in the ballgame. Good to see that Tate remains in even after his hobble on the infield, rounding the bases. Good enough to stay into the ball game. Jackson Takahashi with one away, and the base is empty. Oh, and 2. Takahashi had an RBI single in the 4th. He walked in the 5th and scored in both of those frames. So he's got 2 runs scored to go along with an RBI. And a 1-for-3 day. Romero ahead 0-2. Got him swinging. Good looking pitch tailing away from Jackson Takahashi. Romero has his first strikeout of the ball game. 2 up and 2 down. Man, what a 1-2-3 inning this would be if Julio Romero, pardon me, can get it done. He's got to go against Dayton Francis here, as Bison will answer back with the pinch hits of the Sasquatch with one of their own, and Dayton Francis arguably one of their best hitters early going on the season. Get a pinch hit opportunity. He takes strike 1. Francis entering today 8 for 26 and 9 RBIs, and heading into today the team only had 16 RBIs. He had over half of the team's RBIs. He had a big game last night out in Milwaukee as well. He was 3 for 4 with 3 RBIs last night. He's behind in the count 0-2 as Romero could be the first Sasquatch pitcher to have a 1-2-3 frame here tonight. Got Ethan Kang to pop out, Takahashi to strike out. Here's his 0-2 to Francis. Line, center field, Green coming on, and he's not going to get there. It gets past him and into center field. Francis can run for days. He's going to round second and head all the way to third. Throw comes into Gonzalez, and Francis, who doesn't have a lot of speed because of Green coming in on that baseball, he's going to get all the way to third with a triple. And a 2-out runner at third base changes the whole landscape of this inning for Bison baseball. The lineup goes back to the top with Alex Everson, and obviously the retrospective look, you'd hope Ben Green just keeps that ball in front of him. That's a single if he does, but as a result of trying to charge that ball and make the catch, Francis ends up all the way at third. So back to the top, Alex Everson. Looks at ball 1. Everson a walk in his first at-bat, couple strikeouts, a fly-out, and a ground-out over his last 4 ABs. So 0 for 4 day, but a run scored for Everson out of the leadoff spot. Good off-speed pitch. It's just high, 2-0. As mentioned, looking ahead to the bottom of the 8th inning, it's Green, Bowman, and Bachman, the same 3 who led off the 7th inning. The Sasquatch brought all 9 to the plate. Love to see them come up in a 3-run ball game. See if Romero can keep it that way as he loses the zone to Everson behind 3-0 with Nick Golden up next. J.J. Neal walked out to the bullpen and is now on the mound, yet to start throwing in the Sasquatch pen. Romero's 3-0. Gets a strike there at the knees, 3-1. might have broken his bat as he fouls that pitch off. Full count.
Remember to take your foul ball to the concession stand and get a squash buck. Brought to you by State Farm Agent Jody Garcia.
So full count with 2 outs. Everson trying to bring home Dayton Francis. Romero trying to stop it right here in the 8th. After behind 3-0, his 3-2. His line into right field and caught by Javier Marcial. A big play in right field by Javier Marcial. Stops a run from coming home in the frame. The diving catch keeps the Bison off the board in the top of the 8th inning. Sasquatch offense coming up, trailing by 3.
Human Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine is everywhere you need us to be. On the sidelines to support our local athletes, at our clinic locations throughout the region, and at our Ortho Express walk-in clinic when you don't have time to make an appointment. We're here when you need us, working as a team to make your comeback stronger than ever. Getting stronger, getting better, getting you back to your best self. Monument Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, here for whatever moves you.
So surprising. So untamed. So much historical fame. So much to see, hear, smell, taste, enjoy. So pack your bags. Hit the road. Strike gold. Deadwood is waiting. There's so much South Dakota, so little time.
Two, three, 4 in the Sasquatch order here in the bottom of the 8th inning, as Ben Green will lead things off here for the Sasquatch. And he looks at strike 1. Some defensive changes here for Bison baseball. Francis stays in the game. He's at first base. Hall moves over to second. Ethan Kang is at short, and Takahashi's at third. Pitches on the outside corner. 0-2 on Green. Talon Fields still out there for a 4th inning of work. Swing and a miss. 3 pitches. Good morning, good afternoon, good night. Ben Green is down on strikes. 1 away here in the 8th. Five outs left to go for the Sasquatch. They need 3 runs. And Jordan Bowman, who's had a quiet day after going 5 for 5 a couple nights ago against this very team, he is 0 for 4 today. 4 pitches and 4 strikes here on Bowman. Look at the stats on Bowman this season. It's been a phenomenal 2024 campaign, both at the plate and on the mound, and that's finally the base hit that Bowman's been looking for today. A 1-out single through the left side, and Sasquatch have life here in the 8th. They'll bring up Ryan Bachman, and they'll have the tying run once again on deck. Ryan Bachman, couple walks in his last 2 at-bats to go along with a double that was in the 3rd inning. 1 for 2 day, but he's on base 3 out of 4 times. And Bachman, who's been the Sasquatch's best hitter this season from top to bottom, really all things considered, trying to give the Sasquatch some momentum in the 8th inning and bring that tying run up. Trailing by 3, Sasquatch scored 4 in the bottom of the 7th inning to get back into this ball game. Bachman fists it into right field. That's going to go foul. There's no action in the Bison bullpen right now either. Talon Field looks like he's going to continue for a decent stretch. He just threw his 70th pitch of the game, and the cap is 110. Could go the rest of the way his pitch count has been to this point. 0-2. Swing and a miss. Bachman down on 3 pitches. Strikeout number 2 in the inning for Talon Fields. And now it'll be Javier Marcial coming up in a big spot. Marcial's been on base 3 out of 4 times. He singled in the 2nd inning and scored a run. Flew out in the 3rd, and then his last 2 at-bats, he's reached on fielder's choices. In the 7th inning, he also scored a run in that frame. He looks at ball 1, just off the outside corner. Two 2-0 on Marcial. Got Seth Nelson on deck, who could tie the game with 1 swing of the bat, but of course, Marcial would have to get on base, extend the inning for that to even be possible. Bowman, a very small lead at first base, not a lot of speed. 2-0. That clipped him. Sasquatch will bring the tying run to the plate here in the 8th. Bowman over at second, Marcial at first, and here comes Seth Nelson. Nelson came into the game as a pinch hitter in that 7th inning and drove in a couple runs with an RBI double into left center field. He's got the ability to hit the ball to all parts of the field. Left field, right field, doesn't matter. He's got a lot of power as well. He's hit a home run this season to go along with a batting average close to 400. Field, his first pitch. It's up and in on Nelson, ball 1. First and second, 2 men out. Bowman at second, Marcial at first. Comes the 1-0. In the air, left field, and deep. Going back on it's Henry. At the track, at the wall, he makes the catch on the warning track. Just a few feet in front of the fence. Seth Nelson gave it a ride out to left field, but he came up just short of a game-tying 3-run homer. Bison baseball, a 0 in the 8th. And as we head to the 9th, Bison lead this one 11-8.
I wanna shout out to the world so they know my sweet baby loves me so. She got me going, yeah, she turns me on. She loves me, yeah, she loves me, and it blows my mind.
Hey, nice play.
Yeah, it blows my mind. She's my lover.
Julio Romero goes just 1 inning. He delivers a shutout top of the 8th inning, and now they'll look for J.J. Neal to do the same here in the 9th inning. He's been good since coming to the Sasquatch a little bit late into the season. He's pitched now 4 innings for Spearfish. No official record. He hasn't given up an earned run. .5 whip. He's struck out 6, hasn't walked anybody, and only 2 hits. He's got a good lively fastball that touches 90 miles an hour. Flamethrower in the back end of the bullpen for the Sasquatch. And they need another 0 on the board here to give the Sasquatch a chance. Golden bunts it over top the Bison dugout on the left side. Strike 1. 2, 3, 4 in the order for Bison, looking for some insurance runs. Golden, Daniels, and Hall going up against Neal. Looking ahead to the bottom of the 9th for the Sasquatch. They'll have Tate, Simon, Ackerman, 7, 8, and 9. Trying to mount a rally, hoping it's just 3 that they'll need in that frame as pitches up and away to Golden. Golden got the start today for the Sasquatch, for the Bison, went 4 innings, allowed 4 runs, gave up 1 earned run, and then it's been Talon Field the rest of the way. 2 of them have combined to keep the Bison in the lead. Field would get the win, I think, if this game finished. Yes, he would. So the count's 1-2 on Golden. Fouled off. The game out in Fremont did end up going final. The Prospects beat the Move 4-2. And then out in Casper, Sodbusters and the Spuds. That's in there for strike 3. Hold that thought. Golden's down on strikes for the first out of the 9th. It's a good fastball from J.J. Neal. Gets strikeout number 1. Well, the Hastings Sodbusters led that game 6-0. It is now 8-6. Casper is in front. And it's the end of the 7th inning. Casper looks like they'll get back to the winning ways against the Sodbusters out at home. Keep you updated with that one, and if that one does go final before this one does, doesn't look like it will, as we're in the 9th and they're in the 8th. Daniels, who's been a strikeout victim twice today, also drove in a pair with an RBI single in the 5th. Loops one into right field. That's going to get down for a base hit. Second hit of the ball game for Mason Daniels, 1-out single. And that also means that Sasquatch pitching will have no clean innings, at least through 9, potentially 1 if it goes to extras, but they will not have an inning where the Bison do not at least reach base. I guess perhaps a double play ball could allow Sasquatch to face the minimum here in this 9th inning, but still won't be the clean 1-2-3 inning that Bison was able to work 1 frame against the Sasquatch today. 0-1 on Hall, so he checks his swing and went around. Hall has a home run today, a solo shot in the 5th inning. Also a single and a walk on base 3 out of 5 times. Ball and a strike. Popped up on the left side of the infield. This is a mile high into the deep black sky, and Ben Tate over at third makes the catch. Second out of the inning keeps Daniels at first. So here's Bryce Gamble, catcher and 5th hitter in the order. Been on base a couple times with some hit by pitches. He also had a 2 RBI single back in the 1st inning. On base 3 out of 5 times. Scored 2 runs and driven in 2 runs. And time is called just before Neal started his delivery. Gamble calls time. in there for a strike. No balls and a strike to Gamble. Daniels at first base as Bison trying to get some insurance runs for Field or someone else who's going to finish out this 9th inning. Runner goes, pitches in the dirt, no chance for Ackerman as the ball gets away. Daniels steals second base. Sasquatch have mounted a rally a couple times already before. Micah Coleman had a walk-off walk earlier this season, and they beat the Plainsmen 10-9 in a ball game that they trailed for a majority of the ball game as well. Trying to do the same thing today and win a game where they fell behind early and really been playing from behind the whole way. They have not held a lead at any point during the game. Bison scored in the top of the first inning with 2 runs. The Sasquatch were able to come back to tie it 2-2 before Bison took the lead again in the top of the 4th inning, 5-2, and ever since that point they've been in front. Sasquatch have scored the last 4 runs of the ball game, but they'll need more. Neal powers a fastball that Gamble's able to foul off, 1-2. Neal trying to strand Daniels over at second. Comes as 1-2. Swing and a miss. And Neal able to finish off the 9th inning. He does put up a 0. He leaves Mason Daniels stranded at second base. Do the Sasquatch have a rally in their bones? They need 3 in the bottom of the 9th inning. It'll be 7, 8, 9 in the order going up against Talon Fields. Sasquatch, we'll see if they can put this one or tie this ball game in the 9th when we come back.
So surprising. So untamed. So much historical fame. So much to see, hear, smell, taste, enjoy. So pack your bags. Hit the road. Strike gold. Deadwood is waiting. There's so much South Dakota, so little time.
See if the Sasquatch can come back here on a Saturday night at Black Hills Energy Stadium. Tate, Syme, and Ackerman going up against Talon Fields. They need 3 runs. Tying run in the on deck, or pardon me, in the hole for the Sasquatch here in the 9th inning. As Tate looks at strike 1 out of the hands of Talon Fields. Golden got the start. It's been Field the rest of the way. 77 pitches out of the pen for Field. That one nearly hits him, and Tate now put out his hand as if to say to himself, dang, why didn't I let that hit me? Already shaken up after his slide earlier, but Sasquatch need base runners. Almost got one there. Into center field, should be playable for Everson. 1 out. Bison 2 outs away from their first win of the summer. 11-8. 0-8 entering today. Trying to get win number 1 on the year. The Sasquatch 23-13, trying to avoid falling to the Bison. These teams are going to match up again tomorrow night. A 4:05 afternoon matchup. Here's Lane Syme. Looks at strike 1. Field's been good out of the bullpen. That's now 80 pitches and 47 of them 4 strikes. He's given up 4 runs, struck out 3, walked 2, and given up 6 hits. Syme into left field. This will stay in the park. Henry makes the catch, 2 outs. Sasquatch are down to their final out. They need a 2-out rally in a big way. Nolan Ackerman, who came into the game as a pinch hitter, grounded out to second base and singled to left field. Bison is 1 out away. The infield and outfield shifts heavily to the pull side for Ackerman. Pitch off the edge, ball 1. Ackerman back for a second summer with the team. He's been even better in year number 2 than he was last year. Trying to extend this ball game, give Gonzalez a chance. 1-1. Off-speed pitch from field that time, or pardon me, from field. Dropped in there for a strike. This is high, 2-1. After this game is over, stick around for the GP Local postgame show. As soon as this is over, I'll recap the action and look ahead to tomorrow. 2-1. Ackerman tried to let it hit him, but it was instead just inside. The 3-1 count on the catcher Ackerman. Matthew Gonzalez is due up next at the top of the lineup. 3-1. Grounded left side, and that's going to get into left field. The ball game will continue. It's a 2-out single for Nolan Ackerman. And the Sasquatch are not done yet. Matthew Gonzalez coming up with a tying run. Ben Green due up next. So this will be a big at-bat for Matthew Gonzalez, a guy who struggled mightily to begin the season. Has turned his season around with some great games against Bison baseball over these last 4 games. Another hit today on base 3 out of 5 times. Looks at ball 1 upstairs. Entered today a .237 batting average and a .338 on base percentage. He gets on base a lot, even despite the low batting average. He sees good pitches and he works long at bats. It's just a matter of time before the hits started to come, and they did in a big way against Bison baseball over these last couple games. Ahead in the count, 2-0. In this series, he's got 9 hits in 4 games. 3-0 on Gonzalez. The tying run is due up next, and it could be a pinch hitter for Green if we get there. 3-0 on Gonzalez, taken the whole way. He looks at strike 1. Field on the inside corner to get back in the count. Ackerman at first base. That run doesn't matter, neither does the one at the plates. The one on deck means the most. Fields is 3-1. That's low. It's a walk to Matthew Gonzalez, and the tying run will come to the plate in the form of Kyle Finn. It's the 4th pinch hitter the Sasquatch will use today, and it'll be the most important one. Kyle Finn, who has the power to tie this game up with 1 swing of the bat. 2 home runs on the season. 33 RBIs, it's most on the team. .333 batting average, a .510 slugging percentage. He's hit 14 extra base hits, and he's batting .388 with runners in scoring position. He looks at strike one. The big 6'7" righty, trying to either tie the game up with one swing of the bat or just keep it alive for Jordan Bowman, who's waiting on deck. Final hope for the Sasquatch. And they're down to their final strike. 0-2 on Finn with Gonzalez and Ackerman on first and second. Fields, his 0-2. Popped up foul. This gets out of play. Give Finn another chance. Bison 1 strike away from their first win of the season. Sasquatch trying to get 1 hit away from tying this ball game. 0-2 with 2 outs. The pitch chopped, foul, and Finn stays alive. Finn entered today 4th in the ILB in RBIs, behind only Dylan Schlotterbeck, Josh Phillips, and Matt Marsick of the Casper Spuds. He's had a great summer. 2 home runs on the season. 0-2 pitch. Popped up left side. Takahashi in foul territory makes the catch, and Bison baseball has their first win of the summer. 11-8, the final here on Saturday night, as the Sasquatch fell behind early and couldn't mount the rally in the 9th. They brought the tying run to the plate and a pinch hitter in Kyle Finn, but in the end, Bison baseball did enough to capture their first win of the summer. They improved to 1-8, while the Sasquatch fall to 23-14 on the summer. A tough loss for the Sasquatch here on Saturday night. Well, stick around. GP Local postgame show is coming up in just a few moments. I'll recap today's action and look ahead to tomorrow when these two teams match up again at 4:05 in the afternoon. Bison 11, Sasquatch 8. That's your final score. GP Local postgame show is coming up next.
Be fucking real, man. Come on.
Tough loss for the Sasquatch here tonight. 11-8 is the final score as Bison Baseball gets their first win of the summer. Talon Field with an excellent job out of the bullpen, going 5 innings, shutting down the Sasquatch, allowing just the 4 runs in the 8th inning. He gets the win. On the other side of things, Nolan Walfeld gets the loss here, and he didn't pitch all that bad in the beginning of the game, but like we talked about during the broadcast, starter ERA versus bullpen ERA, and again, this is a game where the Sasquatch starter does not go 5 innings, and the Sasquatch fall. I mean, it's becoming a theme for the Sasquatch. They're now 11-12 in games where their starting pitcher does not go 5 innings pitched. The bullpen has struggled down the stretch, and this is a game the Sasquatch really let get away from them. This was a game they really needed to have, coming off a couple of days off, coming up where the Bison were on the road in Oahe. I mean, these were back-to-back series for Bison. They had to come here, play 3 against the Sasquatch, then go on the road for 2 in Oahe, and then come back here to Spearfish, and they couldn't get the job done as the Sasquatch fall their 14th loss of the season. They fall to now 23-14 on the year, and looking ahead to the rest of the way, they've got this team again tomorrow night at 4:05. It's an afternoon baseball game, so we'll have the coverage for you beginning around 3:45 here local time. And then after that, they play the Oahe Zap, and those are series that really the Sasquatch need to have. They've got to have tomorrow as a bounce-back win, and then they got to look forward to the series against Oahe starting on Monday. They got to get that series on the road, and then again with one game against the Zap here at home. And then you look to the end of the season. I mean, those are the series that really count. The Casper, Spuds, and Fremont Moo, those are the games that you were looking on the calendar, and you're looking at, those are the series that are going to be tough, right, with the best teams in the ILB coming here for a couple games. And then you got the Bison Baseball. This is, albeit an easier opponent, considering Casper and Fremont and what the Bison have. Smaller roster, only on the road. A game the Sasquatch let get away from them, and a game they could not come out on top. Final score, 11-8. Sasquatch fall to Bison Baseball here on Saturday night. Tomorrow, these two teams back in action. And for all of us here at Black Hills Energy Stadium, for video intern, broadcasting intern Stephen Hogenkamp, I'm Ari Wall saying so long from Black Hills Energy Stadium. Have a great rest of your night, and we'll see you tomorrow.